again, everyone, and welcome to Memorial Stadium for tonight's broadcast. Of course, CPHS, Channel 6, Derek Wark, the Big D. How about those Tigers, by the way? Playoff bound, gotta love that. But on to more important things here. The Port Huron Northern Huskies in town, they are 1-5 coming into this game. Bit of a disappointing season by their standards thus far. First and foremost, if you're the Huskies, you've got to limit the turnovers. Here's a team that has 12-plus turnovers in just 2 weeks. I mean, more than 6 a week. They had 6 against the Port Huron High Big Reds. That's why they're losing games. Limit the turnovers, because on paper, this is not a bad football team. The defense has slightly been faltering, giving up a lot of yardage, a lot of points. But on paper, again, they are not bad. They're good athletically. They've given up a lot because turnovers and points leading off of turnovers for other teams. This offense, they've got a ton of playmakers, as we're aware. Blake Golding went down. Stepping in, Alex Merchant. Excellent sophomore quarterback, this kid. 2 thumbs up. He's doing a great job, really, when you consider pressure situations. He was great in the Big Red game. But again, it comes down to the turnovers. Micah Moore, Tyler Hughes, 2 good running backs back there. And even the guys on the outsides. They've got Eric Olson. They've got a great one in Sufis. And Van Horn, kind of a swing, kind of a wideout. He'll line up in the slot and deep. But again, turnovers. You've got to limit them or you just don't win games. Finally on the weather this evening, as by the way, the Lance Creuse North Crusaders are in town and they are 4-2. This is a team that really has not won a game in 2 seasons, but now 4-2, so they're back in the winning ways, and new coach Kiner over there doing a fine job. But again, back to the weather here quickly. The effect that it has on this game, certainly it can't favor the Huskies. They're a passing team, and obviously when you get a rainstorm like this, it's all about running. So knowing that, emphasis going to be put on Tyler Hughes, Micah Moore. No fumbles, no turnovers, just hard-nosed running, and I think you'll be fine. There you go, folks. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6 from Memorial Stadium, Week 7 next. Well, Huskies about ready to kick this one off, just about to get underway from beautiful Memorial Stadium. Number 12, the wideout, or one of the wideouts I just mentioned for the I was going to say Big Reds. Nope, the Huskies. There we go. 3 straight weeks of the Big Reds. You get why I'm doing that, right? Andrew Sufis back to kick this one off. So on that note, as we get one final word from the officials here, hands up and hands just about to be down, just about underway. Raining weather tonight, but football still goes on. And on that note, let's get nasty. Port Huron. Sufis tries the squib kick. This has worked against the Big Reds last couple of weeks. Almost works here at the 25, now 26. Good job by the Crusaders to jump on that football. Kind of a dangerous one. It almost worked for the Huskies there as Colin Watts jumped on it. A good play by the junior. And out come the Lance Creuse North Crusaders. Again, 4-2 overall, 2-1 Mac Blue. They never won a game at all last season. Coached by, as I just mentioned, rookie Anthony Kiner. And what a turnaround from no wins already to 4. But when you consider they haven't won a game the last 2 seasons, period. Wow, what a turnaround. Here they are from shotgun to begin on 1st down and 10 from the 25, just underway. Back to pass. Outside caught. They lay off them. Big gain early. 40 up, 44 quickly. 1st down. Lance Creuse North. Well, offensively, mostly a spread team. 4 starters returned on offense, 3 on defense for the Crusaders. That's not a lot, but that makes for the 4-2 record. And so far, so good for them. Again, a spread look. They like to run the ball behind a lot of zone blocking schemes up front. Here we go. 1st down again and 10. This is played real well. They're going to accept the incompletion because I think he dropped that one on purpose. Little pass in the flat. You have to be careful with that one. That is not a behind-the-back pass. Could be a live football, but no can do. They say incomplete as 18, the intended wideout there. And basically their big playmaker on the outside, David Burcell-Dicker. And he's a wideout. Zone blocking schemes up front again. They're more run than throw, but they're a good team athletically as well, led by running back number 5, Vince Parado. 2 decent wideouts, as just mentioned, 18, David Burcell-Dicker, and number 1 is Tyler Conklin as well. Up front, top lineman, 59 is Lamont Baker. Onto that Husky D in just a minute. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 now, as that early penalty on the Port Huron Northern Huskies. So not a real great start for their defense. Again, this defense has been getting beat lately. Lots of points. They've been blown out in every game but one where they blew out Fraser. 2nd down and 5, over the middle, caught, crossing pattern. 1st down, bumped around, but downed after a gain of about 8. They needed 5. First down, Crusaders. Well, the Northern Husky defense led up front by, of course, 55, Brandon Adair, Nick Mahaffey, 24, and 17, Garrett Inchenberg. The linebackers are 3, Donovan Barnes, 11, Mika Moore. Moore, a good one at times. He gets into streaks, in my opinion. The meaner he gets, the better he gets. First and 10, he is smoked this time, the quarterback. Good defensive play, and the pass rush made it that much better as 32 for the Huskies. Mike Poirier got right in the face of 9, Sean Koski, for the Crusaders, who lines up as the quarterback for them in their spread look. Barnes, number 3, lots of potential as well at the linebacker position. Makes plays, good hands if he's in coverage, and they throw his way. Sometimes he usually jumps on them. 14, Colin Christensen, another linebacker to watch for the Huskies. Second down and 10 from the 44 now. In Husky territory, back to pass again. Koski airing it out, deep sideline. Just overthrows, and 10 a receiver there for them. And number 10, Danny Callahan. Wrapping it up, the secondary, 48, Trevor Lumpkins. I like how he plays at times. He's a streaky player as well. 33, Tayson Winters. He'll get right up into your face. 28, Damian Hack, brother of Darian from a season ago. And 13, Alex Shire. Third down and 10 from the 44. Big play here for the Huskies. To pass, Koski looking left, now looking right. Throwing out right, caught, 25, battled forward, up 22, and a first down, Crusaders. And a big play that I'm sure the Huskies would like to have back. And again, it's going to be key all day. Can these third down conversions be completed by the Crusaders? I think we have our first answer to that one. First down, Lance Creuse North. They have a 4-wide look this time with one back set. That's going to be Perito blocking on first and 10 from the 23. To pass again. They like to pass a lot. I can't believe they're doing it in the rain. Maybe because they expect a bigger downpour later. Very athletic play, they say caught. And the crowd down under me just plain loves it. First down, Crusaders again. That's an athletic play by Sean Koski, the quarterback, who looks absolutely great so far in this game. He's buying time on his own, getting out of the pocket nicely, fakes like he's going to run, lures the Husky defense towards him, and then the little toss there in the out-of-bounds line, and a good catch as well to stay in bounds and get the first down. Referees discussing this, it might be against Lance Creuse North anyway, so that certainly is a big plus for the Huskies if it is. So we'll see what the call is. 11:08 to go now in the first quarter. It's definitely against Lance Creuse, so that play is going to be all for nothing, and good thing for the Huskies at that. Obviously, this Husky team, they can't make the playoffs now. They know that. So really, it's a matter of playing for the P word, pride. You got it. Homecoming tonight, I think so very important. I know it's kind of cliche, but you have to look at these games like it's quarter to quarter. And what I mean by that, you have to win each quarter. You know, and in that way, when you're at the bottom of the barrel, really the only way to go is up. So you win each quarter, you look to the second quarter, the third, the fourth, win each one of them, and then look to winning the game. I think that's the attitude they've got to have, particularly from a defensive standpoint. Second down and 10. Ball is marked 23. Again, shotgun with one back. 4-wide look again. This is the patented spread they're running. And another official's timeout. Are there clock issues right now? Officials trying to discuss things. They're going over right now, as you can see there on the screen, to Coach Connell, who wants an explanation definitely about this one. Fiery head coach Connell, as you're aware, took over for Coach Kucera a couple of years ago. His first year, made the playoffs at 7-3. That's a great play right there. Quarterback Koski makes it first, gets out of the pocket nicely, avoids the pass rush, and finds the open man who did everything he could to catch that ball before going out of bounds, which he did. From the 23 now, second down and 10. Koski airing it out deep left sidelines this time, and almost made the catch, but he's out of bounds. As I said a moment ago, I can't believe this Crusader team is passing as often as they are. Must not be raining at this point in time. If it continues to downpour or rain at any point in this game, it definitely takes away from the pass. Obviously, the ball's slippery in your hands, and certainly in the air, it will die sooner. So not a friendly weather for the passing game. Third down and 10 from the 25. On the rollout, Koski pushed out of bounds 20. Good play over there, and look out, almost hitting the wall is 11, Mika Moore. And that's going to bring up third down. So the Husky D putting themselves in a good position and putting the Crusaders in a difficult one at third down and long on a few plays on this drive. The key is, can they stop them now? Can they get them on third down? It's actually fourth down right now. 4th and 10, they say, from the 25. And they are going to go for it. A big, big play in the early going for the Huskies. And their defense. They need a stop. Can they get one? Koski looking deep left side. It's a high pass, overthrows, and the Huskies are going to hold. And that is exactly what they needed, coming off a couple of, as I mentioned, a couple big third down conversions. But the Huskies hold true to the task, and so far, so good. As Merchant and the boys going to come out on offense here. And that Husky offense, first and foremost, 1-5 overall are the Huskies. 1-2 Mac Blue. 5-4 last year, did not make the playoffs. Coming off a year where they did at 7-3. They're mostly a spread team, but will line up in pro set some of the time. Quarterback and senior Blake Goulding, he's been hurt for most of the year. Enter sophomore Alex Merchant on the job training this season, and he's done a fine, fine job. More on that in just a moment, but first, play one, Mika Moore left side. Right behind left guard and left tackle gets about 3, and that'll bring up second down and 7. And again, some of Port Huron's finest. St. Clair County badge on his shoulder. Happy to be here, I'm sure. Not so happy about being rained on. But you know that makes for a good night if you're a police officer and you get to be here at Memorial Stadium to watch a football game. Now that's what I call a good night at work right there. Gotta love it. Well, there's actually a penalty on the play on Lance Creuse North. That's going to be first and short now. Or at least according to the sticks, now they call timeout, and it's a timeout Huskies. So 10:46 to go, first quarter. Derek Wark, the Big D. Being big is a state of mind from Memorial Stadium. No score, Huskies and Crusaders. First down and short, they say, instead 1st and 3 from the 29 officially. They send the man in motion. That is Van Horn around on the end around, but they drag him down. Loss of yards big time, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. If you're going to do an end around like that, right off the handoff, you've got to go. You've got to cut as soon as you possibly can find a hole, and you go. Lance Creuse North, they had that pretty well defended, to say the least. Back to the offense again, number 8, running back Tyler Hughes, smash mouth style. In my opinion, his best game against the Big Reds was 2 weeks ago. The other running back, Mika Moore, number 11, he showed signs of possibly breaking out. But again, another guy who I don't believe has realized his full potential yet. He's got the ball right now up past the 25 to the 26. And that'll bring up third down and about 4 now for those Huskies. Mika Moore, when they want more, they go to Mika Moore. He might not be the same after all those turnovers a couple of weeks ago versus the Big Reds. But here's the key with Moore and Hughes. They definitely have the ability. It's just a question of going out there and doing it. Again, the 3 wides, very gifted group. Eric Olson, 21. 12 is Sufis. And 2, Van Horn. We saw him a moment ago on the end around. I like how he plays. They do a lot of different things with him. And he's also a dangerous kick returner. So we'll see a lot of Van Horn tonight. Third down and short, pass right straight to the ground. Antenna receiver Tyler Hughes. And it looks like the Huskies are going to have to punt as it's now 4th down. So certainly not what they expected on their opening drive either, but you can see the weather had a bit of a factor on that pass that time from Merchant. Defensively, they do a lot of rotating in and out, bringing in players, taking them out, the Crusaders do. And they'll do that all night long. Up front, 59, Lamont Baker, 56 as well. Andrew Jarman lead the way in the D-line. Another name to watch, mentioned him earlier as a wideout, number 18, David Burcell-Dicker. He's a strong corner, also a strong wideout and playmaker for the Crusaders. Off the bounce now, number 4, Deontay Nicholas. Pretty good moves and good speed to go with them. Up 40, now 44 and out of bounds. Kind of spun out of bounds by the feet. And among tacklers, 64 over there, Josh Jones. Again, how are you tonight, folks? Derek Wark, the Big D, in the captain's chair, flying solo again tonight. Being big is a state of mind. There's a fan pretty quiet right now. I believe that's on this side, the Crusaders side. Not a bad turnout by them, considering they travel on a wet, cold evening. And as this night goes on, it's going to get colder. They put a heater in my booth, but I decided to go with the panel door closed tonight, so not needing the heater just yet. Here's a blitz. Outside flat. All kinds of room past midfield 45. Spin move 40, out of bounds 39. They're actually saying 43 is where he went out of bounds. But a first down yet again for the Crusaders. That play right there was a perfect offensive play call from where they blitzed from, because you blitz from the left side. Now, when you put the pass in the flat and there's nobody over there to defend the left side, you kind of get the idea that the defender who could have defended that play came on the blitz. So a nice play. First and 10 from the 45. Play fake. Or a straight out run. Check that. 17. Got the football. And he's not on the list. So unless I have the number wrong, we'll call him Mr. X got that carry. Second down and 10 from the 45. There you see kind of an eerie evening at Memorial Stadium tonight. Overcast for much of the day. Raining off and on. Back to pass this time. Koski outside again. Well, the Huskies are flat out playing off them. And they may need to adjust. They may need to go closer to this. Maybe a man-to-man look. Pushed out of bounds hard, by the way. Some of the Crusader coaching staff over here kind of with their hands out going, why not a call there? But they got away with it. And the Huskies are out tonight. How about that? The actual Huskies. Now, they have those dogs, but they also have a Husky mascot that you see off and on. And my question has often been, well, which one's the mascot? Is it the dogs or the human? Nice looking dogs, though, for sure. Third down and 3, airing it out. Deep, caught over the shoulder to the 10, to the 3. And out of bounds for the Crusaders. Sufis among tacklers, Lumpkins as well, but not before a first down for 5. Vincenzo Parado. And he's the running back, too, so he got out there deep and went the fly route pattern, and a nice catch. And believe me when I tell you, that catch is not easily made. He's looking over the shoulder. And there's a flag on the play, actually, I believe. Well, they're going to talk about it here right now. Well, maybe no flag. Now they're moving the sticks. Okay. Officials kind of unsure of themselves a little bit, too, here in the first quarter. Maybe the pouring rain affecting them. Okay, no penalty. Public address cleared that one up. We have first and goal now from the 10-yard line. The give, straight up, straight down. Inside to the 5. Well, the scoreboard says first and 10 from the 35, so that gives you the idea. And now it'll be second down and goal. Huskies a pretty good job in the opening drive defensively. Something that I mentioned they certainly did need after giving up a lot of yardage and a lot of points the last few weeks. Second down and goal. Went to pass the football, fell out of his hand. That's where you kind of tell it's slippery, and the weather definitely has something to do with that. And that'll now bring up third down and goal again from the 4, as they just plain lost nothing that time. That's to the left of me on the corner. Those coaches were all through here earlier going, saying, what booth can we have, Big D? What booth can we have? Last two on the left, that's what you can have. There you go. This one's a wobbly pass in and out of the hands of, I believe, Lumpkins over there. So the Huskies, 3 downs again they hold. What will the Crusaders decide to do? Do they try and put points on the scoreboard here with the kick, or maybe go for the touchdown, find the end zone? Another thing that the cold weather and the wet weather really does, it takes away from the kicking game when it's raining like this, or when the ground's wet. But it looks like they're going to go for the field goal. They look very unsure of themselves. They make a late substitution right now. Jake Sloan, number 55, checking in late. For the Crusaders, indeed, it's going to be a field goal attempt here. Man, the numbers on their backs are hard to see for the Crusaders. 22-yard attempt. Crusaders, it's up, and barely through left side, but they got it. Crusaders, an early 3-0 lead. 7 and 22 ticks to go first quarter. There you see the scoreboard clock. And the score is kind of out of whack, but I'll tell you right now, it's 3-0. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Well, I've wrote up the last couple of weeks about the Big Reds on bigdsports.info. Well, tomorrow or the next day or whenever I feel like it, I don't want to slack too much because I don't want to get away from these games. But when I will put it up, I will talk about this one, the Huskies battle here with Lance Creuse North, the Crusaders. I'll talk about it on my blog, bigdsports.info. And you can write into, you can tell me what you thought of the game and certain players. I love hearing from the players too. I do sometimes. And I always write back, bigdsports.info. There you go. Again, as I always welcome them, big fella in the truck tonight, E.J. Shea, production supervisor, director, producer, all that mumbo-jumbo mumbled up into one, Ed Sinek, the man in charge. There you go, down there as well. Aaron Bitzinger among them as well down there, graphics girl down there in the van, in the truck. Good to see you guys tonight. Here we go, let's get nasty. Port Huron, 21. Stutter Steps, 25, now 30, and pushed out of bounds, 33. Not too bad considering where they were over there on the sidelines. Among players over there, 28, Damian Hack, again, brother of Darian from a season ago. Also, special welcome out tonight to EBW.TV, the folks down there in the van. Streaming this one, of course, as they always do, 1 hour after the game. I love that. Here you see, just kind of picked it up. Nice concentration, really, to get by a few original tacklers before he went out of bounds there. Can't quite get the number. Bad angle. 1st and 10. Hughes. Battering ram pushed forward out past the 30. And they say barely 31-yard line. Well, again, the Huskies have lost 4 straight games in a row. So kind of when it rains, it pours on them. Of course, senior quarterback Blake Goulding out for the season. Leg injury. But it kind of sets up nicely for their future now that Merchant is in there getting snap after snap. Here he is, QB keeper, 2nd and 7, breaks through. Downed after a strong gain close to the sticks. Going to be 3rd down and a short one. Not the fastest guy. We're used to seeing Alex Johns-Moore from a season ago just bust that one right up for about 20 or 30. But he didn't have the arm that Goulding or Merchant has, so this guy can beat you certainly in many ways. Hughes trying to get that one extra one. I think he did get it right at the 40-yard line. Barely got the 1st down. And yes, they do. There's the official signal. Huskies fresh set of downs. On his opinion of Alex Merchant, Coach Connell claimed that he's much more confident, starting to assert himself, asking questions when they give a different defensive front or coverage, asking what he can do to take advantage of it, just the natural maturation of putting the last game behind you. That's part of your growth, really it is. Again, cliche, in order to win, you must first learn how to lose. And I truly do believe that, but it's more the experience, getting the snaps, and reading defenses. At his age, that's not always the easiest thing to do. That's why when he came in against the Big Reds a couple of weeks ago, the composure that he had, the poise, I really thought he played over his head. He had 300-plus yards passing in that game. Considering the pressure and the situation, I thought that was an excellent, excellent job. And 2 thumbs up to him in that game for sure. I tell you, they don't have the 6 turnovers in that game. And the way Merchant was playing, who knows? They were that good. Especially in the early going, where they were just plain out playing the Big Reds. Then you look at the clock, you look at the scoreboard, and Big Reds were winning it by a hefty score in the second half. There's the Ox, by the way. We'll talk to him, I'm sure, a little bit more as the evening goes along, or at least I will through the translators in the truck to Ox. That's how they talk, I guess. He can't hear me directly, although sometimes you'd think he could. That 6th sense he claims to have, which, not saying I believe. There he is. Do you have a 6th sense? How do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't. He's like, what? What? Go blue tomorrow, buddy. Go blue tomorrow. Here's the punt. Standing 32-yard line is 3, Donovan Barnes. Good punt. Taken 20-yard line. Dropped. Picked up 5. He actually got 5 more on that because he dropped the football, but dangerous as 33 right there to try and get it as well. Tayson Winters. So it's still 3-0. 5 and 28 ticks to go in the first quarter. Slow moving first quarter at that. And as if that scoreboard can't get any worse. They've got burned out light bulbs. They've got too many light bulbs. May have to keep track on our own tonight. Is that a backwards 6? I guess. Crowd down here chanting Seven Nation Army by White Stripes. So patented at these games nowadays. QB keeper 9, Sean Koski, but a flag thrown. And the offensive backfield, pretty good indication holding against the Crusaders. And it is. But this is key for the Husky D all day. You stay in the football game. Just stay in the game. Because you look at the other games on their schedule. They have not just stayed in the game. They've been blown out pretty well every single time. And as we go down that schedule here, well, we'll do that a little bit later on. You'll see. Blowout, blowout, blowout. There's not been any close games with this team. So the key is keep it close. Right, Suds? There's Emily Desmond on the other camera. She works next to the Ox. Not always safe working next to the Ox, but he usually takes good care of her up there. She doesn't know. You wouldn't know either. I actually heard you from the other room there. They're right next to us, of course, and keeping dry tonight. Always a plus. Everybody is, from the guys in the truck to the guys in the EBW van, and one girl, Shelly Sinek, of course. And my Big D booth up here. 1st and 25 from the 12. To pass, airing it out right sideline, caught, but decked. And actually the guy doing the decking, 33, Tayson Winters, goes down. That's one of those wind knocked out of him plays. A good, strong tackle, though. That's exactly what you have to do. Because you tell the quarterback there and the wideout, if you're going to throw this ball that high, I'm going to rock you. Make him pay. It's that same philosophy of throwing the ball over the middle. You see somebody catch that ball up top like that over the middle, deck him every single time. Make him know you're there. See, boom. And it's a case when you're a corner like that and you come up and try to deck him. It's about timing as much as it is about coverage. You want to make that tackle, but you want to do it on time. Out of all the positions on the football field, the cornerback position may just be the toughest. And referees don't really give you many calls either, so it's a very difficult position to play. 1st and 25. This is an option pitch. They do it early, get some good yards too. Huskies will give them this for a bit. Just keep that clock rolling, but he got too many. Out past the 30 to the 31. That's still going to bring up 3rd down, but they got a lot of yards on this simple option pitch from Deontay Nicholas. Well, you simply put cannot allow that many yards on a simple pitch like that on 2nd and an eternity. They've still got a ways to go, though. 3rd down and 7, a short 7 from the 32 to pass. Middle, caught, close, depends on the mark. Referee, the side judge here, is nodding. It looks like it's going to be a 1st down. It is. So they go from a 2nd and 25 to a 1st down on 3rd down. Again, this defense continues to give up some big plays. And as I mentioned beginning of the broadcast, it's not like they don't have the players. These are good athletes back there. Option look again. Koski. Pitch again. Dangerous one. They pick it up nicely. Great open field tackle. 14. Colin Christensen for the Huskies. That, folks, right there is the way to do it. You jump the legs, you bring them down immediately, and that's taking advantage of a poor pitch. You have to make sure when you option pitch like that, that you get it right on the money of the tailback. To pass again, Koski, way overthrown, almost picked off. Van Horn was over there. And it's an overthrow, and that'll bring up another 3rd down. 3 and 43 ticks left in the first quarter of play. Lots of stop and go here in this one. One possession game. It's been pretty good back and forth thus far. Defensive minded. And that's a good sign for the Huskies. Keep it close. Keep it within one possession. And see if Alex Merchant and company can do the rest. Spread look again. 3rd down and 12. Ball mark 34-yard line. Koski passing. Way overthrown this time. That might have slipped out of his hands. And he's getting decked a little bit now. Credit that Husky D. Getting in his face over there was 3, Donovan Barnes. And the Crusaders will have to punt again. So you've got 3 Crusader drives, and they're a 4-2 football team. So this is not a bad team. 3 drives, just 1 field goal to show for it so far. So that is something the Huskies certainly can build on. I said it, you got to go quarter to quarter. So far, so good. Now can the offense pick up the defense? We shall see. Crusaders punting. Just shy of their 20. Good looking punt here. Good forward momentum. Van Horn on the run. Catches it. Shakes off one tackler. He's dangerous outside. One slips past midfield. 45. Now 40 of Lance Creuse. Down to 37. Bryce Van Horn. A great return for the Huskies. Just what the doctor ordered and just what they needed. Well, he's a dangerous guy, and they do a lot with him. Kick returner, somewhat of a flanker, if you will, at times. A swing back, if you will, similar to Dalton Beadler of the Big Reds. He lines up wide. He lines up in the slot. Just a talented, talented guy. It's a dangerous catch on the run here. Look at him shake off that first tackler, which they say a returner should anyway. That's more of just losing his footing there at the 40. And then the rest was up to Bryce Van Horn. Merchant, QB keeper, not much. Pushed back. Maybe 1, 2 if he's lucky. Among tacklers over there, 56, Andrew German, the defensive lineman for the Crusaders. Well, Coach Connell described the play of Lance Creuse North as fearless, fast football. I can't think of many more good comments you can say about an opposition than saying fearless and fast. Well, this is just a wobbly pass, and that's kind of an indication again. Van Horn, intended receiver, by the way, incomplete. Could be slipping, though, out of his hands. The other quarterback, Koski, over there for the Crusaders. It's looked as if it's been slipping out of his hands, too, so that's where the pass kind of gets you in weather like this. It's a wet field right now. It might not be raining. By looking at Nirvana there, Josiah Creedler, it might very well be raining. We don't know. He's in full hoodie, windbreaker, even a windbreaker / garbage bag there on the camera. To pass, Merchant, 3rd and long. Well, he just overthrew this one, kind of expecting more of a pass rush, but he did have time. And the Crusader D up to the task again, and it's going to be 4th down and long for the Huskies, who Connell has really shown no indication yet if they're going to go for it or not, and now they're bringing on the punting team. So you really have to credit Lance Creuse North on their defense just as much as you credit the Husky defense right now. And a game where you kind of get the sense that it might come down to field position. But they keep doing this. That Husky D is going to get tired after a while. You've got to keep them off the field for a bit of a break, or it could be a long game, and that's another one of the big reasons why this team is 1-5. The offense has to move the football to give the defense rest. Oh, this is going to push them back, the Huskies. They jumped. Excellent crowd over on the Husky side, as you would expect. Homecoming tonight, and a happy homecoming to you and yours, Husky fans. There you see, clear as mud, the 4th down marker. This is going to get out of bounds. The question is where and when. Not too bad, right about the 10-yard line. Not a bad punt at all. Now they say officially the 11. Yeah, the key when you're punting like that, you want to get it to bounce somewhere in the red zone and kind of have forward roll, but not that much forward roll where it's going to carry into the end zone. It's obvious. But there they just kicked it right out of bounds, and that's fine too as long as you're in the vicinity of the 10, and they were, so that's a nice job on that punt. 1st down and 10 from the 6. Check that, the 11. Man, I love that scoreboard. 2:44 left to go in the 1st. Derek Work, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Low snap, jump on it, look out, safety maybe. Nah, they got down on it about the 1. And that's a loss of 10 more. The ability of the Crusaders to capitalize on 3rd and long in this game is really why they're up 3-0 right now. Now you look at it and think 2nd down and 20 from the 1-yard line. You've got to think, under no circumstances can they convert this set. They can't get a fresh set of drives, fresh set of downs on this drive. The look is 4 wide again. 2 near, 2 far, and 1 back. He'll be blocking. Huskies showing blitz. They come after Koski. Looking far, left side. Great hands caught at the 30. He keeps going. Missed tackles, 45. Still on the move to the 50. He's going to be tackled by a whole horde of Huskies, but not before a 49-yard reception gain by number 1, Tyler Conklin of the Crusaders. 1st down, Lance Creuse north on a huge play from the 1. That's a great sideline pass on that post. Maybe even fly pattern that time, because you play against the sideline as an extra defender. On 1st down, it's up, it's down. Donovan Barnes the tackle. 2 or 3 more brings up 2nd down. I said they couldn't convert. The Huskies couldn't afford to let them do this, but I wasn't expecting the big play there for 49 yards. Here's the replay again. We're not going to have time for this one. Maybe we'll see it in a minute. Koski looking flat, now looks off flat, took too much time, tries to get out of the pocket. Huskies get him for the sack at the 46. Almost caught myself saying big grids again. Mika Moore, number 11, got him. And 32 as well with a great effort there for the Huskies. Mike Poirier. Big loss on the play. Koski had the flat in the early going, but he shook off the flat. Here's a play again where he pump fakes. Look at that arm. You're throwing it up where either man can get it, but wow. Well, he's got height, big time. They don't list his height, but he's over 6'4", I would think. Big guy, that number 1, Tyler Conklin. This one's outside. They're going to say complete. Right smack dab at the 50 again, where it's going to be 4th down. And there I am. Thank you to EJ Shea, big fella in the truck. He says, is it cold? It's ice cold. Can't even hold on to it. There you go. Fun times always, CPHS Channel 6. But Huskies have to keep playing well, stay within 1 possession, and see what the outcome is at the end. This is going to be a punt fake. They're going to air this one out left side. In his hands at the 30. Complete 1st down. Trevor Conklin, number 6. This is something that you're not prepared for. You have a long snapper, but you have a player back there also, who I believe was the quarterback, Koski. Just in case they go with a short snap, and it fooled the Huskies. They weren't prepared. They were man-to-man coverage, but they caught it. 6, Trevor Conklin. You kind of get the hint, looking at this team, the hunch, that they are a big play-capable football team. Koski the outside. Outruns Mika Moore. Tucks his head. Out of bounds. 25. And now they're saying 28 he's out of bounds at. 23 seconds left to go, 1st quarter clock. So 2 very, very big key plays on this drive for the Crusaders. I mean, they went 49, and then the fake punt, a pass, 20 more. Wow. 69 yards in 2 plays. 2nd down and 8. Pasiti brought down well. Tyler Hughes over there to make the tackle. 52 as well, Kane Santo of the Huskies. That is actually Vincento Parado. There you go. And that's going to do it for the 1st quarter of play here. From Memorial Stadium, where after 1 complete, Huskies trail visiting Lance Creuse North Crusaders by just a field goal, 3-0. But look out, the Crusaders are driving off 2 tremendous plays late in the 1st quarter. 3rd down and 6 from the 26. QB keeper option look. Instead, the pitch back. That ball is fumbled. Do the Huskies get it before they go out of bounds? Officials say no, out of bounds. So, bit of a tough break there for the Huskies. Good pursuit, though, by Tyler Hughes. 48 as well. Lumpkins was over there. And just maybe 1 or 2 more feet on that football field was all they needed, and they had a very big fumble recovery. Obviously, weather like this, you're not going to go for the kick here. So they're going to line up and go for it on fourth down. There you see, good play there by, I believe, Lumpkins to make the tackle. They drop this one as well. Koski, great concentration. They're going to be short of the fourth down. That is a late push. Watch the late hit, boys. 13 over there for the Huskies among players making a strong play. Alex Shire. And that'll, I believe, be a turnover on downs. Huskies are going to take over, I believe, unless the sticks were wrong there a moment ago. Nope. Out come the Husky offense. So the D holds yet again. Nope. They say first down instead. Okay. It's a bad angle. What can I say? This is a forward pitch straight up behind left guard. And they get inside the 15 to the 13. I tell you, this game, everything from scoreboard lights being out to the sticks here with the wrong numbers up. It's like Twilight Zone. It's like an early Halloween. Second down and 4 from the 20-yard line. Shotgun look. Give. Straight up. Brought down. That is Parado again. Short, minimal gain. And it's going to bring up yet another third down for the Crusaders. The Bear is in the booth on his knees again. Do you get knee pads? No, he doesn't have knee pads yet. I told Ed Sinek to get on about that, you know. The Channel 6 funding. This one straight up through Parado, close. And I believe he's got the first down inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. A very, very convincing drive for the Crusaders, considering they started back at their 1. And that is you. Check that out. That is you through the window. Yeah. Getting slick. So it's a first and goal from the 3. Parado in. No signal yet? No. They say down right at the 1. Maybe the half. So the Huskies prolonging the inevitable by the looks of things here. But man, the big play. It comes back to haunt the Huskies. Good thing is, though, it hasn't been like it has been in the last couple of weeks with all the turnovers. If they stay turnover-free, they're going to stay in this football game. To the outside. Huskies all over them. Make the tackle again at the 1. So it's a good effort keeping them out of the end zone anyway. Brandon Adair, 55. A nice tackle from him. It's excellent pursuit. Basic play call. I would do that same thing right now. Just smash mouth right at them. If they can keep stopping them in this wet weather, so be it. The field position is good. They're in this time. Touchdown, Crusaders. I believe that's Vincenzo Parado again. So a 9-0 game. Might have even been 6 Trevor Conklin. Well, there you see it. Their numbers are very, very difficult to see. Off-white on off-white. They're kicking now to go up 10 and 2 possessions instead of 1. And it's up, it's good. So with 9:51 to go in the second. A 10-0 lead, Crusaders. Derek Wark, the Big D. CPHS. Being big is a state of mind. 9:51 to go now in the second. On the kickoff from the 40. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Kick return taken, Alex Shear at the 20, now 25. 30 up middle, and to the 33, maybe the 34. 32, one of the tacklers, Troy Tansey for the Crusaders. Well, not only has Lance Creuse North been unsuccessful all these past years, but listen to this. Coming into the season, they hadn't won a football game in 2 seasons. That's 18 games at least. And they haven't had a winning season since 2007. So this is definitely a big-time plus for their program. Outside Van Horn. I tell you, that's a very, very important tackle, or at least a slow-down play that number 18, David Burcell-Dicker, made out there in the flat. off the Van Horn make, because I'll tell you, the defense of Lance Creuse North there was late getting to Van Horn. If he's not slowed up and he avoids that first block, believe it or not, it could have been 6. That field was open to the bottom left. Merchant to pass again on second down and short. Gets it over the middle. Caught. 3. Donovan Barnes inserted into the game offensively and gets the first down. Huskies move the sticks. Interesting, though, to me, with all the lack of success, maybe, that Lance Creuse North had the last 2 seasons, that they didn't move down a division. Now, I don't completely know the rules on the MAC divisions, and I know they review over 2 years whether you go up or whether you go down. This is a play fake, pitch back, gets a block, Van Horn, left side, right at midfield, right at the 50, he pushed out of bounds. Gain of about 7, so a good job again by the Huskies starting to open up their play calling. That play right there designed on the option pitch for Van Horn to get the block from Soufis. Without Soufis standing there making that block, you don't make that play. So there are certain plays in this game that are designed completely around the block. Well, and here's one of them, really, and they ate it up for lunch. 59 among them, a big man up front, Lamonte Baker. 56 among them as well, Andrew Jarman. And they are big boys up there, too. But again, on the maybe moving down a division, I'm not sure how that works, but it's a good thing they didn't. Lance Creuse North, a very talented team this season. They drop back for a screen, late developing. They don't have enough blockers, and a well-defended play by Lance Creuse North. 20 makes a strong tackle, Michael White, and again, the Huskies are going to have to punt. Sometimes one man tackling alone inside of a screen is all you need. It all depends on the blocking. Huskies a little bit late to set it up. Hughes got it with blockers ahead of him. But that one man that gets by the blocking, sometimes that's all you need. 8 minutes left now in the second. Here's the punt. Barnes almost has it blocked. Good punt, high one. Takes a Lance Creuse bounce and then bounces back for the Huskies at about the 22. And that's where they down it. That's where the Crusaders will come out for yet another drive. And in the very least with that drive by the Huskies, which to no avail, they didn't score on again or get any points on, it rested up the defense. And believe me, they need it. Something tells me they're going to be very, very busy in this football game. Because the Crusaders, they're one for the big play. They've done it a couple times in this game. Striking any time. On third down, they've had some big plays in this one too. And I believe they're going to call a timeout. And they do, yes. Crusaders call the timeout. 7:50 on the second quarter clock. We have a 10-0 game. Huskies trailing, visiting Lance Creuse North Crusaders. Derek Wark, Big D, again in the CPHS Channel 6 booth here at Memorial Stadium. Happy to do it for Ed, EJ, and the rest of the folks down in the Channel 6 van. First and 10 from the 22 to pass. Over the middle, Koski overthrows. And Barnes almost had the pick jumping up. That's a zone play with the linebackers, depending on where that middle linebacker stands. Barnes perfectly played, tipped off his hands. Well, we got to get to the game last week. Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils absolutely hammered the Huskies. But it's not like they weren't in the game. A big crucial turning point in that game, I'll tell you in just a moment. Second down and 10 from the 22. Good pass rush, Huskies, avoiding it nicely. Koski outside, ball's dropped. Right at the 30. And that'll again bring up a third down and long. Key to the whole game thus far, Lance Creuse and their ability to convert these third and 10s. Well, they lost 54-14 to the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils. The Huskies really weren't playing bad in the first half as they pulled it within a touchdown in the second quarter, but apparently they allowed 3 straight touchdowns to GPS in the second, and that was that. Of course, that one played at Grosse Pointe South. We had the Big Reds here. They're at Roseville tonight, too. Third down and 10 from the 22, airing it out deep again. Almost caught again. Wow, they are a dangerous football team. in and out of the hands, or at least one of the hands, of Tyler Conklin, number 1. 2, by the way, Bryce Van Horn had him played well, but man, this is a size mismatch. And Van Horn is not a small guy. He is a big wideout, this Tyler Conklin. And I'll tell you, he can move. So finally, Crusaders going to punt again on basically a 3 and out, and to the Huskies ultimately satisfying. Get that defense off the football field for another breather. Punting now, Crusaders standing at the 10, high snap, dangerous. Huskies almost blocked it again. Fair catch is called. Jumping up and getting it dangerous at the 44 is Van Horn, but he made the fair catch, and the Huskies are going to get the ball inside their own 44-yard line. There's the Ox. And go blue, you know what I mean? Like, we had some tough losses on the year. Lost to Notre Dame. I couldn't handle that one. I couldn't. The Alabama loss, we kind of thought, yeah, but Notre Dame. What happened, Ox? Tell me, what happened? We've talked about it. The Ox should have quarterbacked ahead of Denard, because I'm a believer that a statue quarterbacking that game would have won. Anything but Denard in that game, honestly. Anyway, enough of that, and on to this. Tyler Hughes, first down carry. Right around right tackle, got past the 50 to the Crusader 49. Second down, about 4. And a short 5 is what they say. Huskies have to keep moving that clock. Time of possession, down 10, but they're doing a good job, or a better job anyway offensively. Van Horn outside is bammed down. Goodness gracious. Whew. 3, Anthony Parado. Nailed him. But you know what? If you're Van Horn, you see what he did? He got right back up again. He said, that didn't hurt. Come and really hit me next time. I love it when a player does that. He got hit, though, I'll tell you. This is no light hit. Well, we'll see it in a minute. As Tyler Hughes the carry on third down and short, and this is very close. Where the ball ended up, it's clearly past the line. It depends on the official's mark. And that's close. No measurement. They say first down, Huskies. But yeah, no light hit a minute ago. He came up and he popped him and it was clean. Here you go. Wham. You know what's great about that too? The helmet is low. It is not helmet to helmet. Merchant airing it out deep. Crusaders tasted their own medicine, but they had it played perfectly. And if anything, they're fortunate that is not intercepted. Almost impossible numbers to see by Grosse Pointe, or not Grosse Pointe, L'Anse Creuse North. And the Crusaders, I said white on white, or a white yellow on white. Very difficult to see. Alex Merchant, he's not doing anything fancy. He's not taking off hard through the line. He's kind of just stutter stepping right behind the blockers. Play is designed for a minimal gain no matter how you look at it. And it will go now third down. Coach Connell claimed about last week they just plain got outplayed by what he called a solid Grosse Pointe South team. 54-14. Yeah, I guess they are quite a solid Grosse Pointe South team. More on last week in just a moment. 5:51 to go, second quarter. 10-0 Huskies trail. Low snap. Crowd wanted holding. To pass again, Merchant. He's going to run out of room. Sacked. Brought down from behind. 54, Chris Trouba. And the Huskies again are going to have to punt. Well, they just can't get the ball downfield. And the reason for that, these are coverage plays. That's a coverage sack right there. But you know what? Bloodhound, there he is. I was going to say, you've got to get rid of that football at all costs. You're out of the pocket. That's something he'll learn over time. And it's easier said than done. I mean, it's easy for me to say that up here in the booth. He was running towards his off arm, so it's a hard play to just throw away, but that's one you got to think about that. Here's the punt. They let it go. Very dangerous that they did. Huskies playing around with it now at the 5. They downed it at the 5. Very good job by Andrew Soufis getting that ball inside the red zone again. If there's one thing the Huskies have done well so far in this game, besides some strong defensive stops, special teams play, the punting has been right on the money. Anytime you get it inside the 10, I don't care where you're punting from. This one's even on the 5. Excellent stuff, boys. Good job, Andrew Soufis. Grosse Pointe South now 3-0 in the blue, 5-1 overall. I've got no idea why they didn't move up to the MAC White with the Big Reds. The only reason they didn't win the division last year was because of the Big Reds. Wide open running lane. Almost stripped at the 20. Spin move 25. Pushed out of bounds 28. Big gain, number 5, Vincenzo Parado. First down, Crusaders. Well, he got through right guard that time and basically just took right off. The linebackers were late to get there and couldn't really catch him on an angle. So then it becomes a matter of, can your corners get there? Can your safeties get there? They did, but not before a gain to the 28-yard line. 20-plus yard gain, another one by the Crusaders. And this one in the flat is dropped, or even in the slot, if you will. I think it's number 11, Connor Carabri. And he was guilty of just plain looking up before he got this ball. You see it very often in the flat or in the slot because you know that once you catch it, it's designed to have you take off. Speaking of taking off, here we go again. 50, stiff arms 46, and out of bounds. They're just not getting over there fast enough. 5 Parado, end to end, and the linebackers aren't getting there. He's getting through the line with a nice hole, and then he's past the defensive line. The linebackers have to take over, and they're not fast enough on an angle. So they've got to make themselves fast enough on an angle. 1st and 10 from the 46. Is the defense of the Huskies getting tired? They've been on the field for much of this first half. Not tackling at all there, up to the 47. It's good effort by the Crusaders, but the Huskies have got to tackle. All of a sudden, they look a little bit tired, and understandably so. They've been out there for a lot of this half, as I just said, but shotgun look again, drops the ball. Picks it up. It's going to count as a sack, and a loss of 5 yards. All kinds of Huskies back there. You know they all want credit for the sack. Anywhere from 32 Mike Poirier to 14 Colin Christensen. There you see the Huskies coaching staff. They wanted those booths tonight. They wanted 2 in a row, they said. I said, well, you can't have 2 in a row on this side. This is the Big D's booth, folks. Over the middle pass, incomplete. And that brings up 4th down. So they got their booths. They're over there on the left side. And they didn't want to be. They made that clear. They said, we like to be outdoors when we call the games. That's the coordinators over there. They want to be outside, but can't risk the rain. And I don't blame them one bit. 4th down. If you're wondering, they did fake a punt earlier and got 20 yards on it. So we'll see if they do it again. This is just going to be a set punting formation, I believe. Backstanding to return at about the 10-yard line. His own 10 is Bryce Van Horn. Number 2, the Huskies, and Coach Connell calls timeout. Off snap, here's the punt of the 45. It's a wobbly one. Did Van Horn touch that football? Oh, they're calling touchback. That was very, very close. He went for the ball. Referee called touchback right away, so he must not have touched it. If he touches that ball, though, that ball rolled in the end zone. That's touchdown dangerous right there. Wow. That could have been a very big play. But key number 1 to the game, I called it beginning of the broadcast, Huskies do not turn the ball over. So far, it's minimal in that area. Excellent. That's how you start things. Play a better game from that standpoint, and you have a chance. Merchant, low snap again. Airing it out, almost picked off. Might have slipped out of his hands again with the wet weather for Deontay Nicholas. Not quite. The interception, I believe, intended outside. That time for Olsen. Or in this case, I think TJ Quirk, number 23, standing out there. But a flag on the play first, and we'll see what this is all about. Speaking of Eric Olson, he had a real strong performance last week. 4 catches, 85 yards for the Huskies. He was their one standout player. Donovan Barnes, an 11-yard touchdown reception. Bryce Van Horn, 12-yard touchdown catch as well in last week's game. But again, getting back to Grosse Pointe South, I can't understand why this team continues to dominate in the MAC Blue, and they didn't move up like the Big Reds did. Big Reds won the division last year, and they smoked Grosse Pointe South in that game. But that was the only team to really beat them in the MAC Blue. This is offside, and I think they gave it right back. Huskies, a penalty, by the way, a moment ago, cost them 15 yards. And at least 5 of that going to go back to the Huskies. Well, the rushing yards, key statistic last week, and really decided the game as Grosse Pointe South outrushed the Huskies. 219 to 66. There you go. That's the telltale stat right there. That and the turnovers. Another bad snap. Merchant overthrows another pass out to Tyler Hughes in the slot or the flat. And incomplete. That's going to bring up second down. Well, I'm not sure if these low snaps are throwing off Merchant. But they could be. Because you get a low snap like that, your first indication is, I've got to hurry this up. So he picks it up, and he might be hurrying his throws a little bit. But perhaps the ball clearly slipping out of the center's hands here. Shotgun look on second down. Merchant out of the pocket this time. Going deep. Picked off at the 25. Wow. Great hands. It was anybody's ball. They threw it up. Donovan Barnes. But the Crusaders came down with it. And you kind of get a sense that this is not a team the Huskies are going to beat on the pass tonight. They're prepared for it. They expect it. Again, it's a learning curve with Alex Merchant, but believe me, you can see the skills. This kid will get there. The punt now. Check that, of course, the turnover. Interception. Flag first on this first down. And we'll see what the flag is all about. Another big stat last week. Huskies actually outpassed Grosse Pointe South, throwing for 208 versus 135 for the Blue Devils. Here's that throw again. Well, he was in front of him. That was Bryce Van Horn, but it's just great hands over the back. That's a fantastic interception. You can't do it any better as a corner when you're not in front of the player. This is in the flat, brought down. 20 up 16. That is number 11 on the catch, Connor Carberry. Another big stat, Portier and Northern on the pass. Just 6 completions, 35 attempts, but 6 interceptions last week. This is wide open. He slipped first. They're saying incomplete, ground first. And the Huskies are thinking they're lucky stars that it did hit the ground, because I'll tell you something, he was wide open. Either a missed assignment or he got past the zone. But he was laying there on the field. He slipped too, but he was laying there wide open. But 6 interceptions last week. Wow. Well, that right there is the biggest reason why you lose. Turnovers. Look, see, wide open. That is a zone, and the ball did bounce on the field first. So it's a good call by the official. 3rd down and 4 from the 15. Passing again, stepping up in the pocket. Getting by some good pass rush. Fine play and a spin move to forward end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders. What a play. If I could read their numbers better on their jerseys, it would really be a great play. Well, it's number 4. There you go. Deontay Nicholas. You got to see a replay of this one. First and foremost, great athletic play by Sean Koski to avoid the pass rush. Huskies were all over the place. They were behind him. And it was less than a second of the time he had there to get out of the way of the Husky pass rush, finding the open man. Great spin move after in Nicholas. Dives end zone. That's just plain pretty. And don't look now. It could be getting out of hand. 16-0. Trying to tack on the extra point, make it 17. They do, but it's offside, I believe, first. A flag thrown. And we'll see what this is all about. 2:41 officially on the second quarter clock. Well, as strong as the Husky D has played, they've been on the field for so long in this first half. They're just tired. It's normal to start giving up some points. And I haven't seen a lot of Husky games. Obviously, they've had a few that were away. The one game that they played here, besides the opener, I couldn't make. But if this is an indication, maybe the offense is not moving the football as much as the defense is just on the field all the time. Not really the recipe for success either. So a regular extra point has now become a 25-yarder. So kicking it to try and make it 17-0 from a little bit farther back. Up and no good. So they missed it this time. So the Huskies, at least on their homecoming, have something to smile about that time, as not quite the full 7. It is now 16-0. Crusaders over the Huskies. Derek Wark, Big D for CPHS, Channel 6, 2:41 left on the clock. Look at that avoidance of the pass rush. They had him. But then jumping up to get it. Look at that spin move right now, and now the dive. Look at that. This is a talented football team. I'll tell you right now. The improvement from one season to another. Outstanding by Coach Anthony Kiner to come in here. This was a team, again, that had not won a game in 2 years. They look good. 13, the return out to the 25. That is Alex Shire again. Among tacklers, number 7, Alec Defini. For Lance Creuse North. While they're playing a very strong game, particularly in the secondary, this Husky team, keep in mind, they threw for 300-plus yards against the Big Reds, and they're not a bad team in the secondary. 2 of Channel 6 finest up there on the roof. They belong in the wild, not up there on the roof. The bear and the ox. Wild creatures behind the cams. Ox looked like he didn't have a job right then and there. I don't know. He's taking a break, I guess. Two excellent cameramen. Extraordinaires. Anyway, final stats on last week. Mika Moore, 8 for 42 on the ground. Hughes was 6 for 20. Merchant, 16 for 35. 208 passing, but the 6 interceptions. 6 turnovers 2 weeks ago versus PH. 6 more last week versus Grosse Pointe South. Wow. Donovan Barnes, by the way, 5 for 47. Van Horn, 5 for 43. This just isn't getting much. This Crusader defense is really stepping up well. They came to play tonight, that's for sure. 57, Colin Watts. A very strong play. It's Husky homecoming here tonight. There you see some of the people getting ready. They've each got their part to play in the homecoming ceremony. Timeout on the football field, by the way. Derek Wark, the Big D. CPHS, Channel 6. Come up with Lumpkins in motion this time. Play fake. Van Horn. Well, battling forward, not a bad second effort, but you're just not going to get a ton of yards on a play like that. And with Lance Creuse North playing such a strong pass defensive game, the Big Reds are trying to do anything they can short distance at a time. But now the clock is starting to roll. 2 minutes left, second quarter. Still 16-0. Just letting that clock go. Merchant doesn't look sure of himself on the play call. Last minute instructions from Coach Connell. Looking very unsure. Merchant to pass. batted down again. This might be roughing the passer this time. Or some kind of unnecessary roughness. Right about the 40 was where the flag was thrown. Possibly holding on the Huskies. We'll have to wait and see. Every time they go for a pass, though, this Lance Creuse North zone is working. And you know it is because every time Merchant steps up in the pocket to make a pass, they are just plain stepping in front of it. They're jumping up to bat it away. That tells you right there. And on that play, you saw the linebacker do it. He jumped up. That's your indication of the zone play. It's working because you've got the defender in front, you've got coverage on the back, and even in some cases, you've got man-to-man on them. They say in a zone look, somebody's open all the time. It's just a matter of finding them. And the pass rush doesn't help. Here's the punt from the 30, stepping up 34. Getting off a pretty good one. No fair catch called. Got some room. 40, lowers his head, 45, and lowered, battered by Donovan Burns. Taunting a little bit too. That's a good job. Well, Donovan Burns, number 3, he's a gamer. No doubt about it. He comes to play, and he does. So now Grosse Pointe, I said Grosse Pointe again, there you go. Lance Creuse North. It's all these norths. North this, north that. Port Huron Northern too, another north tonight. There you go. This is a gain of 15 plus. Out past the 40 to the Husky 39 and a first down. They're hurrying up. Basically what the Huskies should have really done a moment ago. The scoreboard does not show timeouts. They don't have all 3 of them. I remember them calling a timeout earlier. Here you see the final minute 20 of the second. To pass from shotgun again. Koski outside left, caught. Just pushed back. That is a load of a player out there in that one, Tyler Conklin. They have some serious weapons on this football team, I'll tell you. Conklin, definitely one of them. They have a good-looking back in Parado. Bursill Decker. These are talented players. This is not the same Lance Creuse North team that I've seen these past couple years. Airing it out, deep this time, end zone. Caught. They sang out of bounds first at about the 1.5. 12 on the coverage, Andrew Sufis. These Crusader wideouts are just too big. That might be a cramp there. That is number 1, Tyler Conklin again. He's having some kind of first half. They take advantage of him, though, with his size. They throw it high. You throw high to the big guys because they come down with it. First and goal now from the 1. Moving the ball at will are the Crusaders. End zone. Conklin again. Yes, they say catch. Touchdown. Crusaders. Well, they brought the ball down there very, very easily for about 50 yards in only about 1 minute. And on Husky homecoming, it is 22-0 Crusaders. And they'll try to kick the extra point here to make it 23-0. Flag blown a little bit to the right. Red, white, and blue. There you go. Extra point try. Up now and through. So a 23-0 game right now in favor of Lance Creuse North. 43 seconds left on the first half clock. And a tough season this year. Here's the kickoff. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. 25, now 30. Face mask. And they called it, yes. Still on his feet, good second effort. Gets to the 32. And you can tack about 5, or if they call it a personal foul, 15 more added onto that one. Again, Big D, Derek Work. Being big, it's a state of mind, baby. Huskies defense has been big in the first half. You wouldn't know it when you look up at the scoreboard, but they've just been on basically all first half. They've been on the football field. They haven't had much of a breather. This Lance Creuse North defense has flat out done the job, particularly shutting down Merchant's pass. And that is something that not a lot of teams have done. It's the Huskies' bread and butter. They've got talented wideouts. Merchant not afraid to go to them. A bit of bad luck as well. Few turnovers now. But not like the last few weeks that have just taken them right out of the game. Here's a simple handoff, not going to get much. And I think they're just going to take this one into the half. There might be one more play left, and then that'll be it. A very, very tough first half for the Huskies. I think the weather had a bit of play in the early going, but Lance Creuse North has looked spectacular at times, and I think really they're outmatching the Huskies on the outside. Pass defense really doing the job, and even over the middle with the linebackers. But even offensively, the wideouts doing a great job. They're airing this one out deep. One-on-one coverage again. Slips, falls. Did he make the interception? They're saying it is incomplete. That, folks, is the first half. Huskies a tough one, and they've got a lot to talk about. After one half complete from Memorial Stadium, it's visiting Lance Creuse North Crusaders 23. And your Port Huron Northern Huskies very unhappy. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Enjoy the kart race. Enjoy the homecoming halftime show from Memorial Stadium.
At this time, we will begin the introduction for homecoming King and Queen Court. First, we have the freshman representatives. Our first King Court representative is Luke Bowman. Luke is escorted by his mother, Lynn Bowman. The first Queen's Court representative for the class of 2016 is Brooke Hewlett. She's being escorted by her father, Aaron Hewlett. The second freshman representative for King's Court is Garrett Lance. Garrett's mother, Danielle Lance, is his escort. Our final freshman is Chelsea McHugh. Chelsea is escorted by her stepfather, Larry Niver.
Our first sophomore this evening is Yusuf Kunji. He is escorted by his mother, Margaret Kunji. Next, we have Lexus Motox, being escorted by her father, Steve Motox. The second King's Court member from the class of 2015 is Aaron Tuttle. Aaron's mother, Janet Tuttle, is his escort. The final court member from the sophomore class is Exandria Ricks, who is being escorted by her father, Dave Ricks.
Due to a tie in the voting, there are 3 junior King's Court members. Our first junior, Tim Hicks, is being escorted by his mother, Lori Hicks. Representing the class of 2014 on Queen's Court is Casey Rose. She's accompanied by her grandfather, Tom Rose. The second Junior Kings Court member is Dylan Mustard. He's escorted by his mother, Melissa Mustard. The second Queens Court representative for the class of 2014 is Jacqueline Spencer. She's being escorted by her father, Al Spencer. Our last Junior Kings Court member is Jack Trimble. Jack is being escorted by his mother, Amy Trimble.
And finally, it is time to announce the senior court members. There was also a tie for the senior Queen's Court, so there are 4 nominees for Queen. Our first nominee for Homecoming Queen is Amy Finkel. Amy is escorted by her father, Ray Finkel. Okay. The first candidate for Homecoming King, Josh Myers, is being escorted by his mother, Terry Myers. The second senior nominee for Queen is Emily Kearns. Emily is escorted by her father, Tim Kearns.
Our next King candidate is Jacob Murfin, who's being escorted by his father, Paul Murfin. The third nominee for Queen is Mackenzie Lance. Mackenzie is escorted by her father, Kevin Lance. Our final King nominee, John Vanderhavel, is accompanied by his mother, Karen Vanderhavel. The final senior nominee for Queen is Chelsea Weaver. Chelsea's father, Michael Weaver, is her escort. And now announcing last year's homecoming queen, Miss Hannah Reinhardt. Last year's king, Jimmy Glombowski, was unable to be here.
Oh, you do the king.
It's now time to announce this year's homecoming king. The 2012 homecoming king is John Vanderhavel.
Crown. I even get to say drum roll, please.
Nice. This feels good. I feel like a good person to do this. All right.
Am I
Put
good?
on the cape. Put on his cape first.
It is now time to announce the Queen. Drum roll, please. The 2012 PHN Homecoming Queen is Mackenzie Lance.
That's your girlfriend. Congratulations to our winners, and thank you everyone for being here. All right. Good job, Derek. Fun doing business.
Dan Volk and Dick Marker, along with their contestant Rita Dickinson. Good luck, Rita. Cheer her on. Nice try, Rita, but I think there's one more thing. At this time, Huron Chevrolet will present $1,000 to the high school, and also a $100 gift card to Rita Dickinson. Congratulations, Rita. Thank you very much, Moran Chevrolet, Fort Gratiot, Michigan.
And welcome back. Third quarter about to commence from Memorial Stadium. Of course, 23-0 Lance Creuse North Crusaders at halftime. Really, it was a game where coming in, we thought the weather may play of great importance, obviously, with it pouring rain like this. I think that Sean Koski, the quarterback of Lance Creuse North Crusaders, I think he's done a great job. He showed early a little bit of ball slipping out of his hands, but man, he's got some great weapons on the outside. This Conklin is absolutely fantastic for them, and if he keeps going like this, he's got the ability to be a tremendous star as this season keeps going. I think that the Crusaders have really dominated this game on the pass completely on the outside. Their pass defense has been excellent. Their passing game totally has been excellent, but under big play conditions. I mean, when they needed the big play the most, they've got it in that half. I mean, their play for 49 yards from their own 1 yard line. Absolute fantastic pass. When they needed it the most, they got the big play again. The recipe that has hurt the Huskies so badly on years past. Obviously, Lance Creuse North right now playing a much better game, much more aggressive, but they've got superior talent, especially offensively. And if it keeps going like this, it could be a long night for the Huskies. But again, you have to take it quarter to quarter. Win these individual quarters when you're 1-5. There's only one way to go, and that's up. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS from Memorial Stadium. Here we go, second half of Week 7. Of course, the annual bike race happened, halftime, homecoming, the ceremonies, and all that goody. I watch the bike race. I think it's funny every year. The seniors won, the juniors second, sophomores, and then the freshmen. You know what the problem with the freshman bike was? It was too heavy. They were pushing that thing. It didn't corner worth a you-know-what. They had it out to midfield, and they couldn't push it very far past that because, quite frankly, the thing did everything but conk out on them. But anyway, the effort was great. It was the best-looking bike in terms of work. It just didn't go very fast, so I'm sure the freshmen will have 3 more years to come up with a better bike. Seniors won, but that's the reason. They had 3 years to prepare a better bike, and they've done it. But props to the freshmen for a nice-looking bike. It just wasn't all that fast. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6, and happy homecoming to you and yours. I wish it was happier as far as the scoreboard goes. The Crusaders up 23-0 on our Port Huron Northern Huskies. But again, superior talent so far. They've demonstrated this Conklin on the outside, as mentioned. He has been superb in that first half of play. And again, he's bailed them out. And I'm sure that police officer right there would agree with me. Loving the fact that he's here watching football on his night of work, but not loving the fact, again, it's wet, it's rainy. And I was telling the big fella in the truck who was in the hallway down there, next to letter D, that hallway down there, the Big D. Yeah. I was telling him, I said, it's getting cold out here, big fella. He says, Big D, don't be a wuss. Well, I won't be. Let's get nasty. Port Huron from the 20, Van Horn 25. Huskies beginning kickoff return here to start the third quarter, 35, maybe 36. And pushed out of bounds. A whole horde of tacklers for Lance Creuse over there, 35 among them John Amore. The other thing about that first half, I think the Husky defense spent a lot of time on the football field. This is a big offensive drive right now for the Huskies if they want to get back into this football game. They need a long, sustained drive, no turnovers, and just punch it in. I think that would keep that defense off the field, and they'd come out really fresh. They've had some time at halftime, I know, to rest. This play certainly won't help that. Number 40 there, Adam Acker jumped the play and got Tyler Hughes down before he could do any damage on the left side. That brings up second down. Got no gain officially. That'll be second down and 10 now. There you see, third quarter just underway. Derek Work, Big D, Memorial Stadium, the usual place. And despite it being 23-0, still having a good time. And that's what it's all about. True blue football weather too. I told you, once October hits, it's different. It gets cold around here. The pass. Still didn't really look sure of themselves. Van Horn drops the football. That brings up third down. He gets up limping a little bit too. The problem is, I think it's slipping out of Alex Merchant's hands still. I really do. And as a result, they haven't been getting anything going. That combined with the fact that the Crusaders really over the middle and to the direct outside have done a great job defending the pass. There's been very little there, even when the Huskies have tried screens. They've been jumping the blocks and jumping the tackle nicely. Merchant airing it out deep. Anybody's ball. See, excellent pass defense. They are right there. Man to man, and you get safety help. And now it looks as if the Huskies are going to have to punt yet again. So a 3 and out. And that Crusader defense, they're just not quitting here tonight. Even Big Larry down there in the EBW.TV van, he said, everything is fine. Don't worry about it, Big D. Well, everything but the scoreboard, buddy. There you go. You and Phil, Shelley, you do a great job down there. Keep positive despite the cold weather and stay dry, buddy. Stay dry. That one kicked out of bounds. Penalty against the Huskies. That's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Crusaders on the 40 coming off the penalty. Well, the Husky schedule, first and foremost, bear with me because a lot of these are blowout games. They lost to Croswell Lexington 30-13. I called it a guitar solo like none other. A great quarterback, Nate Guitar of Croswell Lexington. He did a fabulous job in that football game. It was even at the half. They blew him out in the second. Even in terms of how it was played. First down, speaking of how it's played, this has worked all day long. Huge hole, 50 out past midfield to the 45. The tackle made by 28, Damian Hack, but not before. A huge gain on first down for the Crusaders. And another first down. I really feel like the Huskies came out really strong in that Croslex game. And minus how they played in the Big Red game, they have not been the same team since. They call a timeout here on the field. They want to talk about it here in the early going. Almost like wasting one with 10:50 on the third quarter clock and 23-0 Lance Creuse North. I thought they played Croslex very, very strong in that opening game. Back and forth, a very exciting first half. Then in the second, Croslex opened things up, and I think the Huskies were shocked. They were shocked at how Croslex came out for starters, and then it kind of hit them in the second half. And really the Huskies, I don't think, have rebounded from that. I mean, they beat Fraser at Fraser 41-0. My first thought was, is Fraser just a bad football team, or did the Huskies really come out and play wow and overwhelming? There you see that last play again, by the way. Great run to the left side, and they have not caught up in time on angle tackling to catch these guys. From left side and right side it worked. So they beat Fraser 41-0. That one August the 30th. A great bounce-back win in stunning fashion. At that point, they were 1-1. Well, they're going to make the tackle back deep in the offensive backfield with a sack. Huskies this time applying pressure, and it worked as Damian Hack got him. By the way, this is backup quarterback in there right now for Lance Creuse North, or at least it was on that play, Alex Duffany. So maybe they figure with them up 23, Koski's going to sit for a bit. Duffney's going to get this snap as well from shotgun. Second down and 20. Straight up. This Parado bouncing off tackle, avoided one nicely, then gets wrecked. Got just a couple. That brings up third and long. But Lance Creuse right now, they just want to keep this clock rolling. You don't need to do anything fancy. You're up by a ton of points the way your defense is playing. You're up 23, but the way the defense has been going, it's like more like 45. Back to pass this time. Looking over the middle. Perfect spiral right in the hands of the Huskies. And finally, a break as 12, Andrew Sufis. Nice job, the pick. It was a heck of a spiral. It was a great pass. It was just underthrown. That was as tight a spiral as you're going to get that high in the air. Simply put, too much loft, not enough arc. Right in the hands. There you go, a Sufis. Great job, and it looked like maybe Defini threw it a little too soon, as the wideout didn't look completely aware or ready for that one. This is a shotgun T-look this time. 1st and 10 from the 21. Low snap Merchant. Airing this one out. Can he catch up to it? No. Sufis can't. And Alex Merchant, this is his first real tough day throwing. I mean, this is a team that loves to air the ball out. It's no big secret. But heck, Merchant got 320 plus yards against the Big Reds a couple weeks ago. Only 200 plus last week. But you know what? This is maybe his most frustrating week yet. But you're going to have up and downs when you have sophomore quarterbacks in there. The question is he learning something? Is he improving? And I think he is. Bobbled snap here, Merchant. And they've had snap issues all night long. He gets buried. That was number 40, Adam Acker. And you can't do much when you're having snapping issues like that. I don't know if it's Merchant or the center or just what it is down there. Possibly communication, but the ball's been slipping in and out of his hands all night. Obviously, the weather has a part to play in that. But a lot of the snaps I noticed where Merchant is taking the ball initially from the snap from the center, it's low. And he's got to bring it up. That right there, folks, that's 1 second wrecked. There you go. That right there is 2 and 3 seconds wrecked. That's why he's got no time when he gets up with the ball. When you are passing the football, defenses are just too quick. You've got to go down for a snap, that's a second. If it hits the ground, it's at least 2 seconds. You simply can't have that. And another thing you can't have, this is a personal foul, a clip against the Huskies. Literally tonight, when it rains, it pours. Wow. Anyway, again, they lost to Croswell Lexington 30-13, the Huskies in their 2012 schedule. They beat Fraser 41-0 in Fraser, by far their best game of the year. They lost to Creuse at Creuse 47-7, a shocking game to say the least. They lost here to Macomb, Dakota 49-20. No match for one of the best teams in the MAC, but let's face it, that was a pretty good effort by the Huskies, particularly in the second half, and Mika Moore had his finest game as a Husky. September the 21st, they lost to Port Huron High a couple weeks ago, as we saw here at Memorial Stadium, 45-20. I called it too many turnovers, too many gifts to a team that already has too many presents. Well, this is a pass in the flat to Tyler Hughes. Good yardage because, again, they had nobody there. That's the same look earlier that they threw earlier out in the flat, and there was nobody even in the vicinity, even close. They did it this time, and you know what? That ball was slightly underthrown and over Hughes' head. If that ball hits Hughes in the numbers, that's 20 yards at least. There's certain plays tonight where Creuse, they're just not in a defensive set for the play. Look, if that is out closer to where that number 10 is on the 10-yard line there, and hits him in the numbers, he's got the first down easily. This is a fake. Donovan Burns, lots of yardage. Look out here. 30, up quickly, 35-40. Donovan Burns could go. Lowers his head 50, battled forward, bumped. 45, down 44. Biggest single play for the Huskies tonight. Donovan Burns. That was so heads up, and I don't know for sure if it was called for a punt fake. He looked like he was going to punt that football. He saw the punt, punt rushing, if you will, to block the punt, and he just said, heck with it. I'm lowering my head. I'm going. Good yardage. Merchant now. Different Huskies, perhaps. 1st and 10. Airing it out. Incomplete. They've had good zone coverage all evening long. The middle is not open at all. That one looked like it was starting right and going middle, and the pass was to the right side. That brings up second down. 9 and 17 ticks left in the third quarter clock. After the PH game, they lost last week, of course, to Grosse Pointe South, 54-14. A schedule full of blowouts posts yet another one, and then you see, of course, tonight against L'Anse Creuse North. Homecoming. Not a lot for the homecoming fans to cheer about tonight, but that big play by Barnes a minute ago, that faked punt, certainly will help the cause a bit. 2nd and 10 from the 45, play fake. Merchant, gobbled up, taken down. He's got to be careful there of the unnecessary roughness. 32, Troy Tansey. Not quite a sack, got 1 yard. That'll bring up third down and long again. When you take out the Husky bread and butter, which is the long ball, the pass, then they're forced to do a short game, which they're not as comfortable at doing. And you see the struggles because L'Anse Creuse has them defended very well everywhere tonight. Merchant slips out of his hands, might have been deflected, batted down and fumbled. L'Anse Creuse looks like they have the football. And they do. Wow. Did the ball slip out of Merchant's hands due to maybe the fact that that field still is wet? Or was it simply a case of where the defense batted that ball, hacked it out of his hands, if you will, batted down? Either way, the Crusaders have the football, going again with backup quarterback Alec DeFini. First down. This is Parado again. Hit from behind, got a couple more. That's the one thing about making that tackle from behind that 32 right there did on Parado, Mike Poirier. You get him from behind like that, you push him forward for a couple more. Speaking of Moore, is that Mika Moore there on the sidelines? It might be. Well, it's a big loss if that is him. He's had a lot of bad luck this year, boy. But he's an athletic talent, no doubt about it. This one, left side middle, 25 down 20, first down again. At times, this Crusader team can make it look really easy, and this, folks, is their backup quarterback. Yeah, it looks like Moore on crutches. If you're on crutches, but yet you stayed in your gear, it's a good sign that at first they didn't know if the injury was serious enough to keep him out. So that might be actually a good sign. It's just precautionary. Yeah, I think it just slipped out of his hands. It's wet tonight. It's no big secret. Hand off to the left. Gobbled up. Push back. Nice job, Huskies this time. 14, Colin Christensen got him. Is that a cowbell? Yeah, Big D's got a headache. Prescription. More cowbell. There it is. Yes. 2nd down and 4 from the 24. Hit, hard, rocked, brought down. 52 among tacklers. Kane Santo. And a huge tackle by Tyler Hughes. There you go. There's a fan of Santo, number 52. Quite the sign, too, at that. Kane Santo of the Huskies. 3rd down and 15 now. Defani, pass outside. Caught. Should be enough for the first down again, just shy of the 15. I said the main area as we see a little girl yawn like crazy. Get her to bed. But that's a van right there. Inside, those people never yawn, they never sleep, and they're never bored. Larry, Phil, and Shelley. There you go. Well, they thought this play right here might actually be picked off. If it hit the ground, it's not. Oh, now they're saying it was an interception. So that's a heck of a play by Tyler Hughes there to keep his concentration and get the pick. I wasn't sure if that ball hit the ground or not. Yes, they get the ball back. Nicely done, Hughes. 2 great plays there by Hughes on a back-to-backer. A fine tackle a minute ago, and then he gets an interception now. So certainly a little bit of life now for the Huskies. Oh, okay, well, I hit the ground. Oh, they're giving him that one. That's one of those, you're down 23, why not? Hey, you sell it, though. I give you credit, Huskies. Ref called it interception. That's all that counts. It's not even about in sports half the time whether you make the play or you don't. It's making the ref believe you made the play. Baseball, notorious for that. Just sell the umpire that you made the out. Sell the ref in this game that you made the pick. There you go. Alex Merchant, we've seen this a couple times. It's just a QB sneak, or even a QB draw, if you will, keeper. The 15, nothing fancy, just kind of stutter steps his way forward. And all of a sudden, the Husky band comes alive nicely with their eat 'em up rah-rah. There's a guy who loves to eat 'em up when he's out looking for blood, because that's the bloodhound right there. Merchant, forward again. Not enough, gonna bring up third down. So basic play calling, considering Lance Creuse North has stopped it all tonight. You talk about, and I said this earlier in the broadcast, you talk about an improved football team and an improved football program. Again, it's a team that has not won a game in 2 years. All of a sudden, this Anthony Kiner comes in. Rookie coach, boom, 4-2, about to go 5-2. And he's obviously having the same kind of effect that Coach Connell had when he took over for Coach Kucera. There's the bloodhound again. That hood looks like maybe, was he attacked on the way here? That's what happens when you're the bloodhound. Yeah. Ripped up hoodie and all the rest. Had holes in the sleeve there. That's not good, bloodhound. Anyway, fun. The Channel 6 staff tonight, camera people, Emily Desmond, Josiah Creedler, Nirvana, Emily Desmond, of course, Suds. The Ox is Sean Went. Brandon Wright is the Bear. Slow-mo cam, Chris Arell, we just saw him, the Bloodhound. And not the Bloodhound gang, he's a one-man gang. There you go. Graphics, Aaron Bitzinger. Slow-mo director, big fella in the truck down there, E.J. Shea. And Edward Sinek, production supervisor. Aaron Bitzinger, I just realized, the only one on that list without a nickname. Well, we'll have to change that, won't we? Absolutely. 1st and 10 from the 25. Give. Hughes. Right side, good second effort. Kind of falls forward. That's what he does. He's not going to break for 20 or 30, but he's a move the sticks kind of a runner. For what they want to do, he's the right kind of tailback. But this is a team, really, as much as they've had turnovers and all the rest, they haven't had much go their way. Hughes this time, forward, close to the sticks. That's going to bring up third down, though. A hard-nosed run from Hughes. Quite a lot of action, too, outside this booth tonight. There's kids running up and down the halls, slamming at doors. At least there's not dropping of cameras. That would make the Green Hornet Ed Sinek down there just about faint, I would think. But nah, there's just a lot of noise out here, though. It sounds like full-fledged body contact out here. They playing the football game up here or on the field? Maybe that's why the police were over here. I don't know. I do hear yelling, complaining about it. 1st and 10 from the 36 anyway. Merchant, play fake, keeper. Up the middle to the 40. That's it. Gain of 3. That brings up second down. Again, my website, bigdsports.info. I'll talk about this game as I do all the games I do play-by-play for. There's a guy who usually writes into it, the Ox. He wanted everybody to be sure when he wrote in this week that Mark Chapman was no fault in that game last week, on that kneel at the end. This one, by the way, overthrown. More of a thrown it away play. But yeah, the Ox wrote into bigdsports.info this week where I blog about all these games, and he said, I just want people to realize, Big D, it wasn't Chapman's fault. Without Mark, they're not there in the first place. It was the 2 squib kick special teams plays. We agreed on that. Yeah, it was 2 of them. Or is that the peace sign? You giving me that John Lennon peace sign there, or does that mean 2? Okay, great. Go blue. That's all I got to say about that. Shotgun T look again. Second down. Hughes, no. Looked like he might have lost yards. Well, we can get to players of the game here. It's hard to award an offensive player of the game for the Huskies. So I'm going to turn the tables based on what I've seen so far. Unless it changes, I can always change my pick. The one big play, that return from Donovan Barnes on the kickoff there. Actually, it was a punt. It was a punt fake. He'll get it. Donovan Barnes for that one play. That's what it's come down to for the Huskies, who have not run the ball or moved the ball very well in this game. So I'll give it to Bryce Van Horn offensively for the one kick return. Defensively, there's a number of guys who could get it. I'll look up and down my list here in a moment and see what I can come up with. Here's the punt, though. Standing at the 25. Airing it out. Pretty good punt. Nice, kind Husky bounce at the 25. Not too bad at all to about the 24. That's where they'll down it. So with 3 and 54 ticks left to go in the third, 23-0. Lance Creuse North Crusaders on top of your Port Huron Northern Huskies. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Well, Adair has been good tonight, but there's not really a lot to choose from. Adair, Lumpkins maybe, Mahaffey up front. Shire has looked good at times. So there you go. Actually, you know what? Tyler Hughes defensively has played really well. And the last couple of plays he made on that last drive, here's a big play for the Huskies. If they can get the ball back, they jump on it. They're saying the ball is down. And instead that'll bring up second down. Well, a strong hit there to the left side of the offense. Defense jumped on it nicely. 14 gets up from the bottom of that pile. Colin Christensen, who might I add has also had a very nice night tonight. But Tyler Hughes, I think, because of his little bit of a surge there on the last drive by the Crusaders there. A fine tackle, and then he had the pick. It hit the ground, but that was actually Hughes again right there, knocking the ball out. There you have it. There's my defensive player of the game right there by the Huskies. Doing the job perfectly. Known mostly as a running back or tailback on the offense, Hughes stepped up in a big way there as I'm just talking about him. Johnny on the spot. Look what I found. Tyler Hughes, great work tonight. Well, Crusaders, there's a number of players you could pick as player of the game. Certainly player of the game in the first half was their wideout, Tyler Conklin. Man, what a beast, and he's fast. Koski as well, the quarterback. These guys have a real bright future this season. Airing this one out deep. Picked off again by the Huskies. Tayson winners this time. Jumped up to get it. Another underthrown ball. I tell you something about 7, Alec Defini, the quarterback of the Crusaders. He's throwing nice tight spirals. They're just too short.
Hey, Derek, I've been told to inform you that you forgot to say Paul Campo as one of our camera operators.
And while you're on, why not tell us who you are and what you're doing tonight?
I'm the Bear.
The Bear.
Running the handheld shoulder mount camera.
Right on. Pleased to meet you, Bear.
Yes. It's good to be up in the booth, nice and warm and toasty.
And you were across the field tonight to get the homecoming, the halftime production there. You were getting that on.
Yeah, me and the Axe ran over there real quick. Well, as quick as we can run.
Did you really run or waddle? Be honest.
I waddled. The Axeman, he got over there kind of quickly.
Right on. Well, ex-football player. There you go. But certainly you're doing a great job for CPHS. And to Paul Campo, who I didn't even know he was here, to be honest with you. Where's he hiding? Under a rock?
He is over at the south end zone.
Okay. Well, to Mr. Campo in the south end zone. And we might need him next week because I might not be here. So we might need his father again.
Oh, maybe.
Who did a great job, by the way, a couple
Yes, he
weeks
did.
ago.
Yes, he did.
Thanks a lot, Bear. I know you got duties and they don't pay you to announce, so.
Nope, they do not.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. There's Mr. Campo there.
There
Paul,
he is.
Paul Campo, by the way. And Bear, that's 2 weeks in a row he's gone on the mic. He's slowly becoming a star. The only thing is, he can't film himself on, so we can't even see him. Too bad. Too bad. Well, slipping and falling again is number 3 there, Donovan Barnes. Anyway, 2:13. Fun times, man. CPHS Channel 6. Always a blast. We make it a blast. Any other high school production that doesn't have the CPHS or EBW.TV name, it's just not the same. There you go. Yeah. EBW.TV, by the way, if you're wondering, they stream this game an hour afterwards. Every game. Yeah. It's great to see. And they're good people, too. Larry down there, Phil, Shelley. They guaranteed me at half they were not sleeping. They were playing 3-hand euchre, though. I wanted in as a 4th, but then I had to come back up to the booth. Yeah. Screen look flat. Picked up perfect. 20-15. Down to the 13. Huskies finally in business. Bear is still in the booth. Again. But yeah, great cameraman right here, and he's famous now. So kind of I'll pat yourself on the back here. All right, good stuff. There, he wanted to be on cam. He's on cam. First down. Not much. Straight up, straight down. Possible injury on the field now. While he's laying there, possible cramp. Here you see that screen look again. Here's the key. Blockers. But does he have an opening at first? Really, it was set up perfect. Hughes got the ball in open field. 3 Huskies over there waiting to block. And we have a timeout on the field. Again, a 23-0 game. Third quarter of play. Very much defensively, I think that the Huskies are playing really top-notch. But they've been on the field a lot in this game. And there's really nothing they can do about that. It's just offensive struggles. Sophomore quarterback, you're going to have that. But again, I think that Alex Merchant, it's a growing process. They've still got 2 more years with this kid. So I expect some big things. And injury on the field right now, by the way, he got up because he's a TG tough guy, that's why. But yeah, as the game goes on, I think that the Huskies, they didn't quit, and that's the main thing. 23-0 right now. As the injured player gets off the field here. Yeah, a little bit extra time with that Michigan jacket. I like that. Go blue. There you see the rain. In the words of Supertramp, it's raining again. My love's at an end, it's raining again. Yeah, there you go. Supertramp, another one of those good groups from the 70s. I know they'll tell me that down there in the truck too. They'll agree. Here we go. Second down, goal from the 6, airing it out, lobbed. Sufis, did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Andrew Sufis, touchdown. Huskies. Outstanding concentration, and you know why that is absolutely beautiful. Because they had man-to-man in front of the wideout. He just dove for it, and he earned it in slippery conditions. That shows you right there why there's hope for this football team. And Sufis is not a senior. He'll be back. Him and Merchant together, I think they've got to become a great 1-2 punch for this team. I think that's the key to their future. Or at least as far as next year goes. That's a great catch by Sufis and great concentration to haul it in. Huskies are finally on the board, and really it was set up by a fine screen pass. They're going for 2. Do they get it? Outside caught? No. Barnes caught it, but denied. And a strong defensive play there by number 4, Deontay Nicholas. So it's 23-6 now. Minute 39 to go, third quarter. Here you see the replay of the touchdown in Sufis. That is beautiful stuff, folks. Look at that. That's full extension dive by 12. Wow. That right there was so good, it doesn't matter what your coverage is doing. The only way that that coverage could have been better from the Crusaders is to have him more in front of the wideout. But you can't really do that because you forced the wideout to dive for the football. So you've really done everything you can as a corner except pick it off. And there you see Sufis just dive for the ball and come up with it. Outstanding. There you go. He's capable of a lot of good things, this number 12. Just get these guys the ball. Not a bad pass either by Merchant. Super duper slow-mo. Watch how he dives for this ball. Look. Yeah. He's on his knees kind of, and then kind of gets an extra little ump from his knees, and he made it. And he's right back to work because I believe Suf is going to kick this one off now, too. So here we go. Nice to see the Huskies putting up some points for homecoming and the homecoming crowd here. Sufis, let's get nasty, Port Huron. They're offside on the kickoff. So that's going to push them back. I should also say tonight, beginning of the broadcast as I do every night, I put the Tigers cap on my head for two reasons. One, it's a big D, okay? Two, how about those Tigers, huh? Tomorrow night, I know some of you watching the rebroadcast through Channel 6, some of you an hour after on EBW.TV. But how about those Tigers? I'll base it on that and say tomorrow night, playoffs. I think they got a great matchup versus Oakland. They got Verlander, Scherzer, Pfister. Folks, I can't see Oakland beating that. I can't. But anyway, congratulations on that. And we saw a Triple Crown winner. Wow. 40 years ago. It's taken that long. 40-some years later and we have it. What's the exact total? 45 years since Yastrzemski did it in 67. I know this has nothing to do with football, but folks, we have seen some dynamite things out of Cabrera this year and the Tigers. So good luck tomorrow, boys. Go get them. And go get them Huskies here. Let's get nasty Port Huron. It's going to go out of bounds. No, it doesn't. How about that for a Husky break finally? If you're the Crusaders there, it gets actually kind of dangerous on your kick return. If you touch that ball and you bobble it or something, free ball obviously for the Huskies. You want it to go out of bounds because then you get it on the 40. But you don't really want to pick it up if you think it's going out of bounds. So they leave it and it stays in bounds. Goodness, if kickers could do that every time, you'd certainly avoid kicking it to guys like Percy Harvin. Another game I'm in denial about, boy. On the end around. They get there pretty quick. Flag on the play. That's 5 on the carry. Parado, left side. Not much. This is where the Channel 6 employees earned their hazard pay. Look at that. That's kind of the coaching staff up there on the roof. I believe that is for Lance Creuse North. They're whipping out the umbrellas, but Orel up there, the Bloodhound. Some nights he just gets it. Mother Nature says, Bloodhound, here's what I think. So getting rained on up there, but that's where the hazard pay comes in, I guess. Maybe some extra pension, I don't know. Minute 32 in the third. One thing about this game as far as your standard clock time, it has been a real long game. A lot of stoppages in play. Not a lot of running of the football. Lots of incomplete passes, which the wet weather would definitely indicate. A minute 32 on the third quarter clock, it remains. It's going to be first down and 15. Ball marked at the 12. The give wrapped up immediately. Nice job getting in the backfield. Right when he touched the ball, Mike Poirier was right there. And Mike Poirier, certainly an excellent job defensively tonight for the Huskies. Could be the best I've seen him look this year. He has been a force. So why not Mike Poirier for Defensive Player of the Game? There you go. He's been that good, certainly. On second down and 15, big gain, first down and more for the Crusaders and some of their fans. All soaked to you-know-what in their raincoats, getting up and cheering that one. First down. That's Anthony Parado, the brother. Number 3, obviously brothers, I would think, maybe cousins. Anthony and Vincenzo Parado. Neither way, first down. The give again, same side, flattened though by Donovan Burns. That's laying some smackdown on the left. But you know what? They're basic running plays. There's been too many big plays, mostly to the upper left side of the offense tonight. There's a couple to the right, just regular straight-through blocked runs where they've opened up too big a hole and the Huskies couldn't get there on an angle to contain the back. It's happened more than once tonight. From the 30, second down and 12, final 14 seconds. This will be the final play of the third. They try to get him, they miss tackle, stiff-arming a man. Jumped, downed, nice defense, Huskies again. 52, Kane Sano, or Santo, and 30 as well, Trey Lumpkins. And we also have a hold coming against the Crusaders. And that'll set them back again. And it won't be the final play of the third. This one will be, of course, clock stopping due to the penalty call. Big D, Derek Wark, speaking for CPHS, Channel 6. Port Huron Northern Husky Football Network. Yeah, there you see, 8 seconds. Big game tomorrow as well. The boys from Ann Arbor go to Purdue. Normally I'd say absolutely they'll win, but you know what? The way they've been playing, if they don't pick up their game, they're doomed. Quote the Big D, doomed. If they had a QB at all, they'd be 3-1. That's all there is to it. That's all I'll say about that, because in losing to Notre Dame, I have to be in denial that it happened to even stay happy. There you go. Third down and 12 now from the 30. Play taking its time to resume, that's for sure. Now it will. They're just going to let it run down. So all that just to let the clock run down. There it is. Third quarter over from Memorial Stadium. 23-8 after 3 complete. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Back with the fourth in a moment, and we'll see, because the Huskies starting to show a little bit of life. Fourth quarter from Memorial Stadium, 23-8. Crusaders on top of the Huskies. Big D, CPHS, and all that jazz. 23-8. I think the Huskies outplayed a little bit in the first half. I think the big plays came back to haunt them big time. Biggest single play in the game. Well, back-to-backers, really. 49 yards, Crusaders got the pass play from their one, and then, of course, the fake punt on the pass that went for 20 plus in the first. Here's a wideout screen, decked as he got it, 37. 11 on the catch, Connor Carberry, and number 3, Donovan Burns. Burns decked him. Between Burns and, like I said, Poirier, some guys in the Huskies, some players have just looked really good tonight. And it's a shame that it's 23-8, because they've played better than that. As far as the defense goes. That was half ahead. They're kind of lonely up there, and I guarantee you they're wet. I think that was a little boy with half a head there, hanging out over the cement fixtures here at Memorial Stadium. Here's the punt from the 25, partially blocked. Off the bounce, they stepped up to get it. Did it touch a Husky? Did it touch a Husky? That would be a touchdown, Crusaders. They say it's a touchdown, Crusaders. Somebody for the Huskies touched that football. The one thing about kick returning, you have got to be absolutely sure. Do I go after it? Do I get out of there? Don't second guess yourself even once. It's like driving a car. If there's a car coming and you're a beginning driver, don't turn left. Just let it go. Wait a minute. The point I'm making is be sure of yourself to be safe. And they didn't really look safe there, did they? But the question is, which Husky did it hit? Van Horn, the kick returner, was right there. And I'm not sure it hit him. I think it hit an up lineman instead. And I think it was 11, Connor Carberry, who picked that up and went all the way. Well, they're saying now you can't advance it. Okay. It's their ball, but you can't advance the ball. So they're going to get it at the 24-yard line. Which is odd in itself because the one official here, he threw the placement marker right where the play was made. Okay? But then he showed up two of his hands and said touchdown. So either it's placement right there or a touchdown. It can't be both. Interesting. Anyway. Scoreboard says 4th and 5. 1st and 10, actually. I would guess the 24-yard line. Gathered, smothered, rocked. He did everything he could to avoid tackle. I think 13, eventually Alex Shear did make it. Not before, I believe, Anthony Parado. A great effort. He lost yardage. He did everything he could to get out of the way. There you see the rain. Normally, that eats a passing offense alive. But you know what? Lance Creuse North tonight really have done a great job considering the conditions. 2nd down and 15. Option side pitch. Bobbled. The question is it a fumble? If they consider that a back pass, it's a fumble. If they consider it a forward pass, you could still make an argument for incomplete. I don't know. I think that was a forward pass, possibly an incompletion, to be honest with you. And I think they did call it incomplete, which will bring up 3rd down. There's been a few pitches tonight by both teams where I've kind of just said, whoa, how lucky's that one? 10:22 to go in the 4th. Still 23-6. To pass again, Defini looking over the middle. Caught deep middle in. Touchdown. Crusaders. 11 got it. Connor Carberry again. So he got his own touchdown from a minute ago. That right there is the same play that the Big Reds beat the Huskies on a couple weeks ago with Dalton Beadler. Over the middle, go through the deep zone, find an open gap, and that open seam, and you hit him on the run. It was a good pass by Defini, too, who, by the way, as a backup quarterback, doesn't look bad at all. I just talked about how the Crusaders are playing this game, and they're not even caring that it's raining. They're still passing. Timeout called in the field. And it's going to be the Crusaders who are calling it. And I actually see a lot of people down here underneath me actually checking their watch to look at regular time because it has been a long game. There's Coach Connell, drenched. Credit him, though. He doesn't take off that patented shirt and tie even in a downpour. Here's that pass again. He had all day to throw it. Kind of wobbly, not too bad, though. Look at that pass. It's leading him perfectly, and look at him split the seam. Look at him split that zone. Huskies falling down and all the rest. That pass right there is as good as you could do it. Because you're half leading the wide out, but it's a deep throw at this level. Excellent job for a backup. Defini caught it. This is blocked on the extra point. And they like that because it's something else to cheer for on homecoming. Colin Christensen, though, he's been a force all game long. And he blocks that one. So 29-6 is officially the score now. CPHS Channel 6, Derek Wark, Big D. And the Husky band still chanting the old eat 'em up, rah, rah, rah. But you can see, I mean, it is absolutely teeming down on that poor band. That's kind of the conductor guy in the suit there. or the quote-unquote maestro, if you will, of the band. And he's just kind of given one of those cringes kind of looks, like, I can't believe I'm getting soaked out here in the rain, but these bands have fun at these games, I'll tell you. They really do. They dance, they sing, they cheer with the cheerleaders. They do everything. They play their instruments, obviously. They have a great time. Not necessarily on a night like this, though. And the rain continues to pour, and pour hard at this point. Earlier, I don't think it was raining very hard, but right now, it is really coming down. This field, year after year, continues to drain very well. Memorial Stadium, here we go again. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. The kick to an up lineman. This actually, I believe, is 13, Alex Shire, who sometimes kick returns anyway. So for an up lineman, that's kind of a guy you don't mind taking it. Gets to about the 28 and a flag down right at the 28. So 29-6. In a second half where I think defensively, the Huskies continue to play well, considering they've been out there for so often in this game. First half really was Crusader domination. 23-0. But in this second half, Huskies a great job, really, to keep their effort and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the football. Can you imagine the bus ride home after? How wet everybody would be? Huh. That's something I just don't want to think about for Lance Creuse North. First down, side pitch, dangerous. They jump on the football, then slide out of bounds after a loss of a couple. Good heads-up play, Sufis. Well, they're saying he stayed in bounds, actually. It's going to take a lot of convincing right now, or a definite play for a referee to call the ball out of bounds. If nothing else, just to keep that clock moving. Second down and 10. 9 and 43 ticks to go in the fourth. Shotgun look again. Merchant. Middle. No. That's a slip and fall right there. Well, he overthrew him for starters. 88, the odd pass attempt. Tyler Routho. Listed as a wideout. He's got the size for a tight end. They don't really use tight ends in this offense. Big Reds don't really either. Just the way it is of nowadays. That's the thing, though. Coach Connell came in here. He had the spread idea from the get-go. Brought that with him. 3 years ago, of course, when he took over for Coach Kusera. Coach K, as they call him. Shotgun now. Almost drop snap again. Lob ball, airing it out. Coming back to get it, Sufis. And it's incomplete. That's the one thing they say could be the hardest thing for a wideout to do, is when you have the thought mindset to come back for the football when it's in the air like that. A lot of wide receivers don't do that, especially when the ball is thrown harder than that, and you've got to adjust. If that corner's in front of you, you go get in front of that corner before the ball hits there. Sufis there had no choice, of course, slippery conditions, and it's actually a bad example on my part, but that's a smart wideout that will come back for the football, because sometimes you have to do that. Here's the punt. Instead, it's a fake. Crusaders just didn't fall for this at all, though. And there's a flag, actually. Was that a called fake? If you call a fake right there to pass it, to have the punter pass, in conditions like this, you're all but saying right there, we don't care. We will mail it in if we miss this. Because the field position you get, if you miss, red zone. What a gutsy call in a game that might be too far gone at this point anyway. But it worked out because of the flag. And now when play resumes, Huskies are going to have this ball on the 33. 15-yard penalty. Give. Hughes bounces off center, or center blocking, and then just kind of falls down. On any other evening, I think Hughes gets probably at least 6 yards there because he had an opening, but again, the ground. Obviously, at the beginning of a rainstorm, it can take away the pass, boom, you go to the run a lot. But right now, the field is so slippery, this weather's taking away everything. Merchant, finally some good yardage. He gets bumped and smashed to the 48. They unintentionally even kick him. 26 on the tackle for Lance Creuse. Mr. X again, because he's not on the schedule. So there you go. But Alex Merchant, the carry, and a good job. Well, the crowd is starting to chant, come on, because I think they've had enough of getting wet. And I don't blame them, really. This is a true blue parent and a true blue fan, though, to sit there through this, to cheer on your kid. Merchant, airing it out deep again. Got a good arm. Well, that's debatable there. You could almost call a bump first, which would be pass interference. Very close. If you determine he was going for the ball, that's another thing. But I think he hit him maybe a little bit early. We shall see. Again, though, the crew of CPHS Channel 6, and I'm saying it again because I forgot Paul Campow at the start when I first announced this list. But you know what? They told me he might not be here. So you tell me that it's not completely my fault. But anyway, Paul Campow, Suds Emily Desmond, Josiah Creedler Nirvana, Sean Went the Ox, Brandon Wright, The Bear. And that's the camera people tonight. And the rest we'll pay tribute to one more time here in just a moment. Shotgun T-look. Tyler Hughes, 2, push back. Slow-mo cam, the big bloodhound up on the roof, Chris Orell. Slow-mo, big, fell in the truck, E.J. Shea. Go blue, buddy, go blue. Graphics, Aaron Bitzinger, and production supervisor, as always, the Green Hornet, Ed Sinek. And while we're saying hello, Larry, Phil, and Shelley in the EBW.TV truck tonight, hello to you as well. Going to stream this one an hour after it's over. And we'll be dry watching this wet, wet show here tonight. Outside, wide open man, but he slips, he falls. And actually, the interception made by the Crusaders, number 6, Trevor Conklin, who also slipped and fell, but made the play. Well, jerseys, that's the other thing right now. You're soaked, you're wet, you're muddy. These are not fun games to be in. Tyler Hughes, number 8, down there, linebacker, and number 3, Donovan Barnes. They are filthy, and they can't be feeling the greatest about it. But you know what? Part of football, play in anything but lightning. 2nd and 8 from the 47. See, there's the slip and the fall again. There's just no traction right now. So really, it's a pad the stats game right now for defensive tacklers. 24 Mahaffey, 17 Inchenberg with the tackle. Ball marked right smack dab on the 30. There you see, 7:40 to go. In the 4th, likely to be in the game unless an absolute miracle happens. At 29-6, I think it's all but said and done. Huskies are going to lose homecoming. But at least they still showed some life, and at least they battled back in wet temperatures and got at least one touchdown tonight for the homecoming crowd. Most of them, by the way, have gone home, and I don't blame them. It is soaking wet. They're just trying to run down the clock here. Nothing fancy at all. Just keep it moving. I think a lot of people here would be glad for that. Kane Santo, another nice tackle, though. And he's had a nice game as well. And that brings up 3rd down and long, and my guess is they'll just continue to run this and then punt it away and get out of here with a victory. Huskies are now going to go to 1-6. They're back here next week in the Wounded Warriors game, which they'll be proud to wear those shirts for the Wounded Warriors. They wear all black, or at least as far as the jerseys. They get away from the blue look and go black on the uniforms. which, to be honest, those helmets down there for the Huskies, they all but look black now anyway. So I think that's one of the reasons they do that now for the Wounded Warriors program next week. And they're hosting Grosse Pointe North, the Norsemen. Suds Emily Desmond. What do you get with long hair like that and rain that pours down? You get suds. There you go. Back to pass. Airing it out. Wobbly pass. Picked off again. Huskies, 33, great work. Tayson Winters, I believe his second pick tonight. But you know what? Interceptions right now, they just don't feel like the usual turnover because of the field conditions. And the Huskies' Achilles heel, they may even set an all-time record for turning the ball over. They didn't there, obviously, but they might before the season's over. And this game isn't going to help that. But these wet games like this, you can't really say, oh, the Huskies continue to turn the ball over like they have in the past 2 weeks. No, they haven't. They've been a little better in that area. I don't think this rainstorm and the bad weather, I don't think the Huskies should be judged on turnovers in this game because of that fact. But 2 games left. The Huskies have got to try and win one more before the year's out. Obviously, it's all about playing for pride right now. And pride is something that they certainly have. Coach Connell, a fiery coach, you know he won't let it get to a point of, sadness and all the rest of it. He'll still make sure this team's having a good time. And that really is, at the end of the day, what it is all about. This pass deep, Sufis. Outstanding pass defense all night long from the Crusaders. What more can you say? I think that was 15, Jacob Chattinger. They've been man-to-man excellent tonight, and their over-the-middle zone defense, outstanding with the linebackers. Huskies have had it tough all night long, trying to do what they do best, and that's the pass. Passing again, speak of the devil. Outside, no. 16, Merchant again, brings up 4th down now. Well, they'll go for it. If nothing else, they really don't have much to lose. Again, Big Reds at Roseville tonight. Not completely sure what the weather's doing there, but I would guess it's probably raining like this all over the eastern side, if you will, near Detroit, the Detroit area and the Mac area, if you want to be more precise. How would that affect the Big Reds tonight? I mean, they need to win bad to go 5-2, but more importantly, 4-0 in the Mac White. Huskies, by the way, are going to fall officially to 1-3 in the Mac White. Drop snap, falling on it, recovered by the Crusaders. 57 jumped right smack dab on it, Colin Watts. Well, what more can you say? It's been one of those gloomy nights. Seniors won the kart race. That's one thing they're happy about here. I didn't see any floats down there. Not sure if they do floats here. They did at the PH one last week, the homecoming. Handoff, more good tackling by the Huskies. 14, Colin Christensen. Christensen, in terms of tackles, one of his best games, definitely. There, you get an idea there now. My question is, would you like to play in that? I have a booth, I have a window, it is closed, and I am not complaining about that fact, believe it or not. Big D not complain, you got it. Well, this one kind of a funny snap, and the tailback actually pushed the quarterback forward after he bumped into him. Yeah, 24 there, Daiquiri Swope. Pushing forward on 15, Jacob Chattinger, who, by the way, has checked in there as the quarterback. That is the fumble recovery again. And you see when he jumps on the football, you see how much he slides? That tells you right there how wet it is. And they continue to call timeouts in this game. You've heard of the kids' movie, The Never-Ending Story? Well, we have the never-ending game. Yeah, 5:11 to go now in the fourth. Derek Wark, Big D. CPHS Channel 6, 29-6 is the score. And a timeout. It's going to be 3rd and long when play resumes. 3rd down and 15. There you see the scoreboard. And there I am. Go Blue tomorrow. Go Tigers tomorrow, first and foremost. Huskies, though, again, at least you're not giving up, right? Keep going hard as the rest of this game ends and the rest of the season ends. I think aggressive play is the key, and no turnovers another key, but you can't judge it on tonight. The weather conditions, sloppy at best. Just keep going. That's my advice to you. Keep going and keep going hard. Big D, Derek Wark, CPHS Channel 6. And the information that the Bear just gave me, kind of disturbing, because it could be a first here at CPHS Channel 6. We're running out of tape. The game is that long, we're running out of tape. That's funny. Well, not for the folks in the truck, it's not funny. But you know what? I've never even heard of that before. I don't even have a clock. Is it midnight? What's going on? We still have 5:10 left to go in the game. Shotgun look again. They bumped into each other. Anthony Parado, backup running back, slips, falls. The key is stay in the middle of the field. Don't leave the middle of the field. You know what? If I'm the punter, I would even just take it and go with it and fall down and keep the clock running. Well, I guess it wouldn't because that'd be loss of down. And loss of the drive, technically. So my idea, I guess, is shot. Another timeout on the football field. All right, another timeout. 5:04 to go in the fourth. 29-6. There you see, back in the camera booth again. That is a fine heater that those two have. Ox and Suds. Now, the Ox is basically saying there that he wants his face and his head warm. It's only keeping his feet warm. Yeah. So you know what has to happen, Ox? They have to get another employee for CPHS 6 to hold that heater at their head level, and still it's not big enough. Still they've got to reach up with that heater. There you go, right on. I guess that jacket's not warm enough for him or something. I actually, you know what? Funny we should say that. My heater is off in here. So there you go. Real men turn their heaters off. Yeah. Here's the punt, standing at the 38. Late substitution. They barely got the 11th man on. A bunch of timeouts still being called. High punt snap. Husky's going to try and jump on it. They've got to get this off any way they can. They just lower their head and try to run with it. Good behind the play tackle there. 4, I think, got him. Marcel Trice. And I don't know if he's related to RJ Trice in any way, but you know what? Dun 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 dun. Trice, baby. All right. And you know what? He might be. And I'll tell you why he might be, because I saw the Trices, the father and mother of RJ Trice here, a couple weeks ago. They were down there for the big rivalry game, of course, with a Husky Trice shirt on. So maybe, just maybe, they're both related. I don't know. Maybe cousins. So again, you can only cross your fingers for this kid. Hold your breath. Here comes the ambulance. You can see it on the far left side, where I'm sitting anyway. I'm not even sure of the player. Is it 3 by the looks of things? Was that Donovan Barnes? Well, if that is Barnes, then I'll tell you, that is an absolute huge loss for this Husky team. And the way that kid has played tonight, wow. Honestly, wow. Donovan Barnes, hats off to you, absolutely. You played an inspiring football game, and certainly to see you down like this, I can only wish you the very, very best. certainly a great player, and he's really stepped up his game the last few weeks. I thought he really stepped up his game in the PH game. Last week, of course, Huskies away at Grosse Pointe South. Couldn't really tell. Just reading stats, but he actually had a touchdown, so they're inserting him kind of into the offense a little bit here. And he had a catch, I think, tonight as well, so everyone very concerned for their fallen comrade. Mika Moore, by the way, is over there in crutches, standing right underneath the pack section over there, and the pack, by the way, has all gone home. They've had enough of being Husky in the pouring rain. And there you see some of the others that are hurt for the Huskies. It's a very dangerous game tonight. In the wet, the cold, everything. I thought it was getting cold at halftime, really. And the game is now 3 hours in. Here comes the stretcher, so again, good luck. Football, it's rough, it's physical. The rough of football is what makes football great, but you hate to see this. Overcast, we figured, yeah, it would rain a bit. But maybe not this much. It's been pouring for a solid hour, hour and a half. And I kind of feel sorry for them down there too. Or at least the fallen player getting soaked like this. But certainly they're giving him a hand, and rightfully so. And all my best to you. Hats off to you. For the second week in a row, I apologize for not knowing the number, but Husky fallen player. You'll be all right, buddy. You know why? Because you're a TG tough guy, and thumbs up to you. There you go. That's a really nice thing that gentleman with the umbrella's doing, too. He's making sure the patient there doesn't get wet. So the game is about to continue. And I was actually just told the player who was down there, it was Mike Poirier. Mike Poirier, folks, like I just said this about Donovan Barnes, thinking it might have been him, and taking nothing away from Donovan Barnes, who has played outstanding, but Mike Poirier tonight, I said it earlier, this may be his best game. Sometimes when you play so aggressively, sometimes you get hurt. But again, with the field conditions and all the rest. But Mike Poirier has played an absolute excellent game. He really has. I called a few different Huskies for Defensive Player of the Game, and I think I even, at the end of that, went with Mike Poirier. So certainly now that he's leaving on a stretcher, and not to say just because he left that way, he'd get Player of the Game. This was a kid that was aggressive tonight, jumped up, made a lot of tackles, very aggressive play, even over-aggressive. I love to see that. So I hope it's not serious, and nowadays, a lot of situations, they will bring out a stretcher and an ambulance and all that for precautionary measures. So I just hope that was the case. And hopefully, Mike Poirier, the best to you, certainly. Team's warming up a little bit more now, and we're just about to get back to football. And the final 5:03 of this game, I would say about a quarter of the crowd is left. They've all gone home. They're sick of getting wet. If you're Coach Connell, the one thing you want to make sure of for the Huskies is that they continue to be aggressive as they can be right to the end. Sufis comes out of that little huddle limping a little bit. Not really a good sign there either. And here's finally the next play. Scoreboard says 4th down. Sticks say 1st down. Over the middle. Intercepted right away. 20-yard line. Up 24. Downed. 47, the interception. Brandon Lusky. what can you say? And they've had that all night long. Over the middle. It's just good pass defense. They've guarded the over-the-middle stuff so well tonight. It just hasn't been there at all for the Huskies. But to completely shut it down for 4 quarters, and the outside is not easier. This is a Husky team that in the very least has passed for 200 yards most of their weeks. Tonight, not even close. Well, that's just more or less who wants to hit him and hit him hardest, and running back's got to go down before he gets smashed, really. But it keeps the clock rolling, and that's all they're trying to do right now. Final 4.5. There probably won't be any more scoring, because even if you could get open, how will you run on a field like this? Four wide, one back set again. Play fake, QB keeper, nothing. Behind the line of scrimmage, yes, so that's going to be actually credit for a sack for Nick Mahaffey. Nothing like pad the stats, and Donovan Barnes may get a half sack there too as well. Again, good work by Donovan all evening long. So we're up to 3rd down now. Third and 15 from the 19 officially. Shotgun look, 5 wideouts. Check that, 4 wideouts, 1 back. 3 on the far side, 1 near side, and of course the lone setback. And more of a blocking look. He may get it on some kind of a draw here. He does. Off tackle run. Gets the football. Short gain again. That's going to bring up 4th down. So really to summarize this game, other than the weather, which was obvious from the get-go, Lance Creuse North really impressed the heck out of the Big D tonight, because they came out and they said, we don't care if it's raining like this. We are going to flat out get the job done our way. And they did. And the rain didn't seem to affect them, but it was hard-earned, a lot of the catches they made. Tyler Conklin, I mentioned him earlier, and 18, David Burcell-Dicker. They really played a great game from the wideouts perspective. Made some big plays, took it down the field at opportune times, converted a lot of 3rd and long plays. Very, very impressive looking team for a Mac Blue squad. The punt, off the edge of his foot. Good roll, though. Down to the 49. 6 downs it. Trevor Conklin. Almost midfield. So the Huskies get the ball back with one last chance to at least say they made one more attempt to get in the end zone. Anyway, BigDSports.info. I will blog about this game. Hasn't been the most exciting game in the world, but I'll still try and give some Huskies credit where credit is due. There you go, BigDSports.info. I'll write about this one. Airing it out deep, and it's actually caught on a good play by Bryce Van Horn, shaking off the coverage, which was actually double coverage, and making the catch near the 30. And actually out to the Lance Creuse North 32 for the 1st down. Huskies. One of their bigger plays in a long time, really. Shotgun again. Merchant. On the job training for him continues. Pass out in the flat. This is Hughes. Good tackle to stay with Hughes. I believe that's 47 again. He's had a great game, this Brandon Lusky. I gotta say I pity them, the band. Because as much as the team is here the whole rainstorm, so is the band. Still playing their music, still cheering. Passing this one again. No, instead ducking it, running with it. Alex Merchant, spin move. Not much, but he avoided the sack. That's going to bring up no gain, I believe, and a 3rd down. Final minute 40 now. With Grosse Pointe South this year being undefeated, Lance Creuse North 2-1 in the MAC Blue. Maybe it was Grosse Pointe South they lost to. I'm not sure of that one. However, it's definitely between those two teams. Because I guarantee you, I've seen the Blue for years. Big Reds clearly were the best team in the Blue last year. And that Grosse Pointe South team in the Blue weren't that bad. This year, they're still as good. You're not going to see any other MAC Blue team this talented as this Crusader team. So really, it's going to come to them in GPS for the MAC Blue title this year. I know it. I don't need to see anybody else because I know the kind of talent the MAC Blue has. Being as we watched our Big Reds go 10-2 a season ago, we all do, right? So the Huskies are going to go to 1-6. Final minute 11. Passing this one again, Alex Merchant. Left sidelines. Huskies are really, they're pushing off corners right now. And that might have actually been called as offensive pass interference. Incomplete anyway, so the clock would have stopped anyway. Well, Larry in the EBW.TV van down there, if you are still awake, it's probably because Shelly kept waking you up, or Phil. Maybe he's yawning off, I don't know. I just wanted you guys to know because you talked about it at halftime. I just yawned. So, there you go. But anyway, special tribute again to EBW.TV. Going to stream this game an hour after, or maybe tomorrow. I'm not totally sure of that one, because the fact is this game has gone longer than a lot of games do. But anyway, they will stream this game. Probably tonight anyway. And of course, the folks at CPHS Channel 6, the rebroadcast on Mondays. Big fella in the truck, E.J. Shea, and as well, big production supervisor in the truck, Green Hornet Ed Sinek. Final minute 6. So it wasn't a happy homecoming for the Huskies. A happy homecoming, I guess you could say, for not only the homecoming king and the queen, but the kart races. Why not? The seniors won. I'll tell you why they won. They had the lightest bike and the smallest bike. The freshmen had a great big long hot rod bike. That's great and all for looks, but it's all about speed. It's all about light. And I can judge the kart races too, because I've seen 15 of them. This is my 16th year seeing a kart race. So there you go. Well, packing up and walking down the stairs with the Channel 6 equipment is Josiah Creedler. So he's had enough. Nirvana has had enough. Kurt Cobain has left the building. There you go. I think the rest of Channel 6 is packing up. They may pack up while the Big D's still broadcasting. They might take his headphones on him. Yeah. Alex Merchant, end zone. Do they get another touchdown? They don't, but they're going to call pass interference. I just heard a huge sigh. Oh. All kidding aside, you know, it has been one of those evenings. What do? You got to joke about it. I've been here 3.5 hours. Actually, check that. The Big D gets here early. It's been almost 5 hours? I don't know. I get here before 6. Yeah, 4.5. Yeah. Wow. One of the longer evenings Channel 6 has ever spent with the Big D. Some people would not like that fact. Some people would. I don't know how they feel about it in the truck, really. But you know what? Trying to keep such a gloomy evening colorful. CPHS Channel 6. Back to pass. Merchant again. Airing it out again. Right side. It was in the hands of Bryce Van Horn for an instant. Broken up again by the Crusaders again. Outstanding pass coverage all evening long. When they have not had the pass rush on Merchant, they've had the pass defense. one or the other, and when they've had both, well, the Huskies just didn't have an answer, obviously, for that, as most teams don't. Final minute, 56 seconds, 29-6. Can the Huskies get in again? Airing this one out deep again this time. In the hands of the Crusaders, that's going to do it. They brought it out of bounds, which I don't understand for the life of me. 15, Jacob Chattinger got the pick in good hands, but you brought it out? Really? Okay. So the clock stops again. 45 seconds now. 2-play territory, and that'll be it. Then we'll be out of here. And this might be in the Guinness book. Longest game ever. Dun-dun-dun-dun. No, I'm just joking. But it has been a long one. But you know what? Every single snap that Andrew Soufis gets is a plus for this football team's future. It really is, on a serious note. The kid's a junior next year, then he's got a senior season. He keeps going at this pace. Well, just when you think that the game can't get any longer, they don't run the clock. Now the official says get running the clock, and now it runs. Not that it really matters anyway. It had to run because they kneeled. So it'll run the required time. Can they get one more playoff? Either way, it's going to be a kneel, and we're out of here. So the Huskies, unfortunately, are going to go to 1-6. 5-2 Lance Creuse North Crusaders. I wish them a lot of luck as the season goes. They are a good football team. Any breaks at all, you never know. And if they play like they did tonight, well, playoffs for sure. They are that good a team. Again, I've seen MAC Blue teams come and go. This is right up there. They're walking off the field. Final 5, now 4, now 3. They're not going to worry about it. That is it. From Memorial Stadium. Finally. Lance Creuse North Crusaders beat your Huskies tonight. 29-6. Derek Wark, the Big D, for the entire cast of CPHS Channel 6. See you next week, folks. Again, congratulations, Crusaders. You have a great football team.